And we're live. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another MGTOW Chats. Me and Nick here, December 9th, 2017, and it is Nick's birthday. So happy birthday, Nick. And
Thank you.
it's your 30th, correct?
Yes, it is.
30 years. How does it feel?
It's been a rough year. I think this is probably the roughest year I've weathered in probably in the past decade for myself. Um, Feels like just grinding away, rat wheel living. Just trying to climb up the ladder of wealth and try to get my life sorted out. But obviously with age comes wisdom. Obviously, I wish I knew things that I knew when I was younger. But when you're 20, 21 years old, you really don't want to listen to anybody. You kind of just, going through the motions where you're not really giving a fuck about anything or anyone. And, I regret that. I regret spending a lot of time smoking weed. I regret not taking college as serious as I did. Obviously, I take education a little bit more serious now that I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just like if I compare where I am at 30 versus where my father when he was 30, obviously he had much more going on for him. He had two kids. No,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he had two kids. He had his second child, be my brother. He had a two-bedroom co-op on the water, working a full-time job, working overtime and providing for his family.
Yeah. I think a
And
lot of
then
men
I
can
look at
say that.
myself. Yeah, and then looking at myself at 30, I'm nowhere even close to that. So that's kind of discouraging, kind of upsetting in a lot of ways. But I'm not alone in this. I'm not the
No,
only one.
no.
So
I mean, I was just,
yeah.
like I was saying, I think a lot of guys nowadays, a lot of men, I say men, nowadays can relate to that. And it's a statistical fact. I mean, it's reality. You just have to go outside, look outside your door, and you see a lot of changes from your father's generation.
Well, I'm in real estate, and I my friend was pointing out, like, do you know anybody actually buying a home? And I'm like,
Uh huh.
no, 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 I don't. And he goes, and then he responded saying, ah, well, I don't know anybody either.
Hmm.
And we're all in our late 20s, early 30s, kind of still living with our parents, which is upsetting. And it takes two incomes now to really have your own house and your own
Hmm.
your own place. But women obviously don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear they got to go halves on an apartment or halves on a home with you. They want that already set in stone and in place before they nestle in and start buying shit from Kohl's and J.C. Penney's.
Absolutely. Yeah, they don't. Equality comes with a special sort of flavor, leaning more towards the woman these
Well,
days.
it's said that this is what it's turned into in North America and probably Europe for that matter. That what your self-worth as a man is based on the materialistic things that you own. Whoever has the most toys is the winner now, not
Mm,
not so much based on the individual and what he knows and what he can provide and how virtuous he is or as a good person. It's now just dog eat dog, and we're again the narcissistic culture that is America is really taking much more. It's becoming more deep rooted into American society.
mm. Hey, Jay's can't come on. He's in the chats right now. Okay, Jay, that's all right. We'll catch up with you on another weekend for sure, man. It was good talking to you last weekend. Unfortunately, we had to take it down for some other technical issues, but uh, we'll try and cover some of those issues again today.
You
Um,
can't join at all tonight.
yeah, he's got projects and he's going to bed. It's almost 4 in the morning there, so
All right, no worries then.
yeah, we'll catch up eventually.
Well, Hardy will probably be joining us. I think he's just waking up, so I sent him a message, and he'll probably join in later on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And we'll get Cabin Boy in a little bit later as well. So it's going to be me and Nick going one on one for maybe an hour, and then we'll start bringing other people in to the chat. Going to have a little bit of a celebratory birthday chat with Nick here. Um, yeah, and Jay also mentions that it's not just America where these issues that we were just previously discussing, Nick, but it's the entire Western world.
Well, I saw Jay. He commented on an Ear for Men video, and I wanted to respond to him. I wanted to talk to him about it tonight. Was that his favorite movie? Ear for Men, whatever. What's his name again? fucking
Paul
Elam.
Elam. Paul Elam.
Paul Elam made a list of MGTOW movies or men right movies, and one of
Mm,
them was Fight Club. And I'm not a I do like the movie Fight Club. I think it is cool, but he Jay was getting mad about how it's white gangs, and it goes back to this white gang mentality, how there are no more white gangs in America. And Fight Club, the movie Fight Club, is about white gangs.
hmm.
So I thought it was kind of funny that he that's the movie he picked for the movie for Paul Elam to cover. And there was a couple others. I picked the Michael Douglas movie Falling Down. I
Falling
think that
down.
is yeah, I personally think that is a really, really good movie and an embodiment of the white American male, just losing grip with what's going on around him. And again, we were talking about how white men in their 40s and 50s, even older now, blowing away their families, just,
Yeah.
lighting the house on fire, killing the kids, killing the wife, even the dog. And that movie, Falling Down, definitely symbolizes that. So
Hmm.
I felt like that was a good movie for him to cover, but I'm not sure if he ever did or not.
Well, it's interesting. I was watching a video, and it was Warren Farrell. You know Warren Farrell?
No, who is that?
Warren Farrell's beautiful. He's a men's rights activist currently, but he started off as a feminist in the '60s. He was big, huge feminist in the '60s, and then as he watched feminism evolve until modern times, he fell out with it. And he's incredible. He's brilliant. He's well spoken, very soft spoken, well spoken man. He does talks. He was the guy that did that talk back at the Toronto University in Toronto, that made all the modern feminist memes back in 2000 and God, when was that? I want to say 13. Correct me in the chats if you know. Anyway, there was a Warren Farrell did a talk about the crisis, the boy crisis, he calls it, the crisis of boys in America. It's really going on, and there was a huge protest outside by feminists calling him like a rape apologist, and it was just incredible. And they were screaming, they pulled fire alarms, and the video footage of that protest was just a meme machine. He wrote the book, The Myth of Male Power. Yeah. Anyway, it's fantastic, and he was doing a talk on TED Talks called The Boy Crisis, and it's fantastic. He talks about the lack of fathers in boys' lives these days, the lack of male teachers, how boys are falling behind in school, and I know this absolutely to be true, not just in America, but as a teacher myself, when I was teaching in these quote unquote Western schools in Indonesia, I saw it. I witnessed it. I witnessed it with my own eyes, how boys are suffering in the modern education system. And he mentioned how, because of these things and other things, directly and indirectly, are responsible for school shootings.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it's the what you're talking about, the kind of the white man. It is a real trope happening in America, especially with boys. I mean, boys are the world today in the West is very anti-boy, and it sucks. I have a son, so I'm even much more aware of it in that sense. If you get a chance, you should look up anything by Warren Farrell. He's a pretty brilliant man, and he's so.
Well, even we're talking about the movie Falling Down.
Mhm.
Michael Douglas did an interview recently where there's a lack of male American males being portrayed as masculine in movies.
Yeah, yeah.
He's been outspoken about how we're rehashing Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise, maybe even Matt Damon for that matter, that we're rehashing all these guys that are in their late 50s and early 70s, for like Harrison Ford, for example, how
Yeah.
we're bringing up these old guys. Tom Cruise isn't really too old, but again, these guys have been in movies for the past 30, 40 years. Where are all the masculine male characters in American movies today? We really don't have any.
There's not as many, that's for sure.
Well,
Uh,
Michael Douglas pointed out to Hugh Jackman. He goes, Hugh Jackman is not American; he's Australian, and
yeah,
he
he's
and
Australian.
he's talking about the who's that guy who does James Bond now? The new guy,
Oh
Craig
yeah,
something.
yeah. Daniels.
It's Craig Daniels again, a guy from England, and he goes, where are the American male actors today?" He's pointing to himself. He goes, I'm 70 something years old and a cancer survivor. I can't do these movies anymore." And they're talking about redoing the movie Falling Down. He said, please don't redo my movie. You can't catch lightning in a bottle, you know."
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, there's a couple. Who's the guy that was in Drive? He was also in the new Blade Runner. He played alongside Harrison Ford.
Neil Gossage or whatever.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. Oh yeah, that's
Ryan
right.
Gosling.
Baby Goose. He's he's kind of that archetype, but he's more of kind of like eye candy for women in a sense.
Right, and in the movie Drive, he was a very antisocial,
Mm-hmm.
strange character. I mean,
And a cuck,
his whole
an
and a
absolute
cuck,
cuck.
absolute cuck, where he was, beating all these people up over. Was she a single
Oh,
mom too? And was
yeah,
she a single mom?
she was a single
Single
mom.
mom, yeah.
She's a single
And he's
mom
gonna go and save this woman, this single mom, and
whose
he's
husband was in
anti.
jail.
Who husband was in jail, and I drive. That's all he said in the whole movie. I drive.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just him driving around, listening to like retro new wave music in an old car, wearing a leather jacket, like it's 1982 all over again. And it was a very strange movie. I saw it stoned. It was actually a really good movie to watch stoned. But
Drive is a fantastic movie,
I
but it
enjoyed it.
is
I have the soundtrack. It was a great soundtrack.
yes. Drive is a fantastic movie, but be warned, listeners, be warned. It is not a MGTOW movie if that's what you're into.
Well, again, if you consider minimalism, his character was quite the minimalist. He all he did was fix a carburetor in a dim lit studio apartment. It was very very strange movie. Very it makes you feel. It made me feel very isolated and alone in a lot of ways. That's the vibe I got from it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the feeling. But a lot of these movies, when we're talking about these male characters. One of my favorites, obviously, is Robert De Niro's portraying a thief in the movie Heat. And
Okay.
I remember there's a scene in it where he's back in his apartment and he's all alone. He just got done having dinner with I think Tom Sizemore and Val Kilmer, and they had wives and kids, and he's alone at the dinner table. He didn't have anybody. Where he was kind of, and he, one quote he said in the movie, "There's a difference between being lonely," and he's saying that he's alone but not lonely. But he, towards the end of the movie, he wants this woman to run away with him, and mind you, that he just got done shooting up and killing police officers, and she decided to go with him to go run away to some fucking island with him after robbing a bank.
Yeah.
So it's just strange how these movies portray men as these loners, but at the same time these killers, immoral, irrational behavior, and women flock to it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, you're talking about male figures, and especially in media. I mean, even in music, as well as movies and television, advertisements. Even it's very, very hard to find positive male or masculine traits in men in popular media today. It's very, very difficult.
Well, I started listening to Good Charlotte. I don't know if you know who Good Charlotte is.
No.
All right, so they were a band about 15 years ago, pop rock, coming out of that whole post Green Day era, like 2000, 03, 04 era when pop rock really was at its peak. And again, it's this I'm listening to the song. It's like, "I'll be waiting for you forever," and it's again, "I can't live without you," yada yada yada. Just completely demasculating males.
Absolutely.
Again, and you listen. Good Charlotte was big with teenagers between the ages of 14 and 18, and that's what the music is telling men to act this way towards women when women absolutely condone this type of behavior.
Well, and exactly, and I mentioned, I think maybe it was last weekend or a weekend before, a little bit about music as well, and how if you listen to if you listen to the radio and what is considered pop music today, you'll hear any modern male pop artists just pining and pining about women, wanting them
Moaning
to.
and groaning,
Yeah,
moaning
yeah,
about how much I love you, but you're
yes,
with the other guy.
yeah,
You know, even you know, you can even go back to the band The Cars. My
hmm
best friend's girl, and she used
hmm
to be mine. That's
hmm
he's talking about his best friend's girlfriend, who used to be his girlfriend, and he's
yeah,
all upset about it, and he's still pining and whining over his ex-girlfriend.
yeah, absolutely. And the if you listen to any of the female pop singers, they're all talking about I'm glad I'm not with him anymore. Fuck the guy. I'll never
I'm a
get back
single lady.
together. Yeah, yeah,
If you
absolutely.
want it, you got to put a ring on it while you just been gang banged and fucking doing oxycontin and fucking what else, you know?
Uh, yeah, I know. It's sad. It's really sad. And and speaking of masculine males with masculine traits, sort of alpha males, modern alpha males with masculine traits. Do you want to drop some stuff about Donald Trump?
Well, Trump, what he had 3 marriages under his belt. Obviously, his first wife he was with for a really long time, and he cheated on her, and that's where he got the reject daughter that no one really talks about. You know, we all praise Ivana Trump, but he has another daughter that kind of gets pushed to the side because of how she came about, and the media actually tends to bury that story that he had a mistress and he had a child with his mistress, and that's why his first wife left him. Uh, and you know, Trump is definitely a masculine character, no doubt about it. But he, I really, I do like his personality. I do like for what he stands for and everything. But you
Well,
know, you're going.
let's talk about Ivana. I mean, the chick was a high class prostitute.
I see. I did not know that.
Yeah, she was a high class prostitute. You know, which is basically she's just a very good gold digger. Fucking, she should take classes on that shit. Um, but again, Trump is he's powerful and wealthy, so he can fuck whatever woman he wants. I mean, that's the law. That's the law of the land. I mean, a lot of this bullshit about that there's, you know, they're trying to paint Trump as some kind of like misogynist or something like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Fucking women were lining up for that guy to grab their pussies.
Well, I think he is. I would definitely classify him as a misogynist in the retrospect. I mean, he's kind of the guy in the locker room talk. I think that's what he was discussing
Yeah,
when he says grab him by the pussy. He's right. It is. It's locker room talk. It's like how me and you are chatting up right now. But
absolutely.
women do like it. They do. You
Of
know, like
course
it's
they
same
do.
thing. Women complain about men that have a hairy chest. I don't like hairy chest, and then they actually, you know, they actually do like it. So you
I
can't
don't
go
like an
by their words.
uncircumcised penis. I don't like an
Right?
uncircumcised.
They don't like this. They don't like that. But the fact is, they do. They do like it. They love it. You know, they like they do like. But you know, when I'm in New York City, I see these guys who are married with children and pushing strollers, and I see what the men look like, and they're very androgynous,
Oh yeah.
um, very demasculated looking men. And the one thing I pay attention to, I'm a social observer.
Mhm.
I enjoy social observations. I don't really like going into the nitty gritty and the science of why is she this way and that. And you
Mhm.
know, we can be hypothetical about it and run theories on why women do these type of things. But you know, again, you know, you see these guys in New York City pushing strollers, and they're like, you know, what are they like? 40 kilos, you know, like 100, 140, 150 pounds, vegan, yogurt eating, listening to probably,
Soy boy,
sorry,
soy boys, man.
oh, I like that. Soy boys. Yeah.
I didn't
Just,
coin that. That's been coined already, and because soy contains some kind of female hormone or some kind of
yeah, you're not supposed to eat drinks.
chemical.
Men are not supposed to drink that much soy milk. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turns you very effeminate because it
Yes.
starts building up your estrogen levels.
And you see these type of men, and you can definitely see they've never been challenged by another male. They've never been, you know, been pushed up against the wall, and fucking berated, like a football team kind of a thing. These guys kind of just floated through life without being challenged by a bully or they're not big into competition, right? Which is kind of a staple of an American diet, which is being challenged and trying to climb to the top and rising to the occasion. And you see these women walk 2-3 feet ahead of these guys while they're pushing strollers.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad.
European, I call it's like a Europeanism because when I was in Cambodia, I saw a lot of these type of European males where I'm like, even myself again, I don't like to be a bully, but like even I'm just want to just like fucking body check them, just boom, yeah, there you go, right?
Absolutely. Oh, it's much different. I mean, I'm also a social observer, Nick. I like to see what's going on around me. I like to pay attention to what's going around me. Although I don't socialize very much, so it's more of a voyeurism for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I noticed a lot of the guys. Hey, Jonathan's around. Do you want to get him in?
If he wants to chime in now, it's up to him.
Did you send him the link?
I don't. Yeah, I did.
Okay, John, if you're around and you want to chat, I think the link has been sent to you. You can come in, and then a little bit later we're gonna get Cabin Boy in as well. So, but yeah, when I was a kid, when I was 18, just graduated high school, playing in bands and shit, and I had long hair, which might be considered feminine, but you wore long hair for kind of like to make a rock and roll statement. Now they fucking tie their hair in buns, man.
Yeah, the pot, like kind of the hippie liberal social justice warrior look now. You got a pair of glasses on too,
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Well, and this is what it is. And again, I tend to hawk back on how there's just a lack of threats. There's no threat to these type of men, and obviously that now it's come to full fruition in Europe that these guys now have Muslim men who eat meat, and are misogynist in their countries now, and how these type of men from another culture do not tolerate this type of
Absolutely
demasculinity.
Not. Absolutely not. And you know what? It's interesting because I wonder how something I think that hasn't festered long enough to get real good data on it is how a lot of these women that are coming over from, let's say, Syria, Afghanistan, etc., how they're coping with living in this sort of women-liberated society. It makes me wonder.
They like it. There's a video, Vice News had a YouTube clip where there was this feminist British news reporter walking alongside these women in burqas, and the woman in the burqa starts berating the white woman, saying, "Look at you! Look at the way you're dressed. What are you trying to accomplish? Don't you?" The woman in the burqa said, "Don't you want a man to love you for who you are, not for what your tits and not for your tits and ass?" I thought that was a really powerful statement coming from a woman, top down, covering in a black burqa, telling this British woman wearing a pencil skirt and a blouse that, look at you. What do you want? What kind of attention seeking person are you?
Where did you see that?
It was a Vice or Vox. I don't know, one of those the social justice warrior news groups.
Oh, if it was Vice or Vox, it was probably fucking staged.
Yeah, well, but regardless, it was a powerful statement. It was a group. It was like 50 or 60 Muslim women walking down a street in England, shouting or chanting something. I don't know.
Allahu Akbar?
No, it was like, oh God, I don't. It's been a while since I saw it, but
well, that's okay.
It was some immigrant right bullshit, human right nonsense. But so again, this Muslim woman, who's theoretically uneducated,
yeah,
and she just starts going right at it with this British woman, saying, "Don't you want a man to love you for who you are, not for what you look like?"
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll take a second there to plug my own videos. I made a video about the so-called oppression of Muslim women in the Middle East. So if you guys are watching, go check it out in my list of videos. I think it still exists. Most of my videos are getting taken down.
Are they?
A lot of them, yeah.
And on what grounds?
Well, one of them, I had a two-parter called "Men Are the Nigger of the World," and the second part just went down on that one about 2 weeks ago. So
Okay.
you tell me.
Well,
I'm used to it now. I just don't even...
YouTube is cracking down across the board. You know, me and you covered the fact that YouTube is now censoring a lot of the Syrian war battle footage and war crimes that were committed on both sides, just being taken down under some YouTube violation, ethics violation, or something.
Yeah. The YouTube is really is it's censorship happy. It has an agenda. It has a political corporate agenda.
Well,
it is a corporation.
You just go to what's trending on YouTube. Do you ever actually view what is trending on YouTube? Do you ever click on that link?
No, I don't, but I've heard about it.
Okay, if you just click on it, the first top 5 videos, it's usually 3 anti-Trumps, something with a gay person, and some pro-feminist nonsense.
Oh God.
Always.
Really?
Always. I think the last one I saw was some gay guy trying on makeup with a white woman. You see what I'm saying? And then women don't see this. Women like homosexuals because the homosexual is a non-threat. It's a non-threat to her ways, because if you were to bring in a domineering male, it's a threat to her whatever her shtick is.
Well, the homosexual male is the ultimate cuck for her.
Right.
The ultimate cuck for her.
And then it's okay to hook up with the gay guy. You see, oh, he's not a threat. I'm bi. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'll make out with the gay guy. And then she's never gonna turn around and go be with a masculine guy, because he's more commandeering. He's more of a brute. He's more in your face. You know, he's an authoritarian figure, and she doesn't want to hear that. You see. So this is part of the problem with that agenda.
Jonathan's in. Jonathan, can you hear us? Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes. All right.
My voice might sound a bit weird because I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm sounding a bit nasally.
Okay. That's okay. That's fine. All right. It's good to have you back, man. How have you been?
Good. Yeah, I've had some thoughts on that Me Too thing, hashtag Me Too. And what you guys are talking about right now, this YouTube having a real agenda, and like a lot of companies having a real agenda. I just watched a interview with Sheryl Sandberg of Facebook. I can't remember whose site I watched it on, but it was pretty revealing too. But that hashtag Me Too is kind of ironic when you think about it, because it's got kind of a double meaning. Like, men have always created all these things. Like, they created armies, they created politics, they created endeavors like space travel, they created the legal system, they created the medical industry, they created everything. They created technology, YouTube, and throughout the whole process, women are saying, me too, me too, me too. I have to get on this bandwagon too. That's what motivates women, is not a real genuine love for these endeavors, but just me too, me too, me too. I don't know if you guys remember, maybe I'm showing how old I am here, but back in the 1980s, male strippers were a big thing. All these women wanted to go see male strippers, and they fell out of popularity. But I knew even back then that women did not really want to go see male strippers. Women were turned off by watching naked guys, even good-looking naked guys prancing around. The only reason why women wanted male strippers is because men were going to see female strippers, and women were saying, like, oh, me too, I have to do that too. If men are doing it, women have to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that Me Too up, because that is something that's kind of, I mean, before we came on, Nick and I were talking about things we wanted to cover, and he did drop the idea of covering a little bit about the, all the sexual harassment scandals or whatever that's been going on, and that ties in directly with Me Too.
Yeah.
Because the idea is like, okay, these very horrible people in Hollywood, and I don't know how many. I haven't really been following it because it's always such a cringe for me. I mean, like, okay, what are they? How are they shitting on men now? That's kind of how I see it, right?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So I kind of always I just get real cringeworthy for me. But so what I'm saying is I haven't really kind of had my finger on the pulse of what's going on. I've just kind of been hearing about it in the side, and so I don't even know if any of these accusations have much merit. Or if they do, but the point is that we've got, let's say more than a handful of horrible rich actors. Like, is anybody surprised? Right?
Yeah.
And now they're trying to paint that brush. They're trying to use the brush of with the hashtag Me Too, saying, look, I've been sexually harassed. I've been sexually harassed. I've been sexually harassed. Me too. Me too. Me too. And then of course they're just saying that men are shit again, right? And
Well,
I'm just
you're killing. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Well, you're killing two birds with one stone with the whole sexual harassment thing that's going on. All right. The first stone, the first bird you're killing is you're covering up Hollywood. So you have Harvey Weinstein as the sacrificial lamb that's now covering up what else is going on in Hollywood? The pedophilia, the women sleeping with men to get a movie part. So here, they point to Harvey Weinstein and all these other, news anchors and what have you. These are the sacrificial lambs to covering up for other producers, directors, and other Mongols behind the scenes that we don't know about. So you push them into the light, and at the same time, now you attack all men, as that they're all men in business, all men that are now all sexual predators. So you get to kill two birds with one stone. One is you push the wedge between men and women further within American society, and you cover up the scandals and whatever debaucherous behavior taking place behind the scenes in high places.
Yeah, and these Hollywood liberals, in the past, they have always had this tacit kind of deal with the feminists. Their deal that they had, I think a lot of these guys, they know damn well, these male feminists, they know damn well that feminism is a load of crap. But their deal is like this, and I think Bill Clinton is a prime example of this too. I will support your feminist causes as long as you let me get away with all kinds of sexual misconduct or whatever, right? Bill Clinton's actually a fucking rapist, but as long as Hillary saw her chance at a shot at presidency, she was willing to turn the other way and let that go.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's. I mean, it's you're preaching to the choir when you're talking to me about the hypocrisy and the two-faced feminism.
Yeah, and why was Monica Lewinsky never accused Bill Clinton of rape or harassment or anything like that? Why not? Maybe because nobody put her up to it. That's the other thing, is like these women are being put up to this by people like Gloria Allred, and people don't realize that if it wasn't for somebody putting them up to it, it would never happen. And nobody put Monica Lewinsky up to making sexual harassment or rape allegations, because that would have derailed Hillary's shot at presidency, right?
Yes.
Sorry, Nick, go ahead.
Well, Monica Lewinsky was really young when that all took place, and I'm sure she was quite blindsided and overwhelmed with the situation. And I don't even remember her ever mentioning the word sexual harassment or being forced or any. She did it under her own volition.
Well, let's put it this way: if Barack Obama, when Barack Obama was president, he could have whipped his dick out in front of any chick and they would have sucked it.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
Any liberal chick would have just fucking gobbled on his cock.
Yeah.
And then,
how do men? I was going to say, like, how again, you're driving the wedge between men and women, and you're doing it in the workforce. My parents met in work. Where did I meet most of the girls I hooked up with? At work. So now you can't even have some type of companionship or friendship, for that matter, in the workplace. So this further exasperates the problem on where you're supposed to meet someone of the opposite sex, outside of a bar. Well, where are the normal places people usually meet? Okay,
Hey,
at college. Okay, so let's say you meet at college. But there's now you have that whole situation where if a girl gets drunk at a party and a guy sleeps with her, now he's got a he's labeled as a sex offender for the rest of his life because he slept with some drunk girl and it wasn't consent. Okay,
Mm.
now you can't meet a woman at work because that's sexual harassment, or then it's an HR violation or what have you. So again, where are you left with meeting someone of the opposite sex? It becomes you're cuckolding yourself from meeting people is what I'm trying to get at, because of what the media is pushing down upon the masses.
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Well,
thing is, oh, sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
This is the kind of law that anybody, any man that is, can be guilty at any time. And this is a way for women to have arbitrary power. This is how a police state works. In a police state, they have laws that anybody can be guilty of these laws at any time. And the only people who don't get arrested are people who are people who the police don't feel like arresting. This is a way that women can separate men that they don't like from men that they do like.
Mm.
Any guy can be guilty at any time.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
sorry, go
no,
on.
no. Go ahead, Nick.
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say it's a police state without actually have a police state. You're now you're in a police state, and the police are its own citizens. You see
Yeah,
what
well,
I'm
You're
saying?
policing yourself. You're
You're
policing yourself.
replacing it. You're policing yourself. Yes.
well, the women are playing the role of the police.
Liberalism is.
Right.
Feminism is. Feminist women and men are fall into that category. I mean, I hate to just apply it to one single label because it's more than that, but on a whole, especially when you consider what it is attached to the media, because the media is the very loud minority. That's what media is. It's very loud minority. It's the loudest voice in the room. And it basically is expressing the opinion of a very, very few people.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the media is, and so that's why you have these concepts kind of on the minds of the populace, just about everybody. No, if you talk to the average person on the street, I guarantee you, if you talk to the average person on the street that's at least informed, they're not going to fall into line with a lot of liberal talking points that are pushed on you through the media. They won't fall in line with them. They'll know what they'll have heard of them, but it won't be their cup of tea for the majority of people. I mean, we're being forced to accept a sort of, like you said, self-policing is one aspect of it. We're being forced to accept a certain quality of life that is not in our best interest, and most people don't want.
Yes. Yep, I completely agree. The media, when we talk about media, we're talking about TV, we're talking about
Television, news,
right,
Hollywood.
New York Times, right? That's what
Yes.
we're defining media. It's a megaphone that's screaming at you behind you as you're walking down the street. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it is.
And it's telling you, it's painting a picture. It's painting a picture of a world that you don't even live in. You don't exist in. It's not real. They
Right.
want it to be real, but it's not.
And it's only getting louder, which I find very bizarre. When Trump got elected, my father made a point saying, "Oh, don't worry. Once Trump becomes president, all this PC nonsense, internationalism, neoliberalism, all these type of things are all going to go to the wayside." Well, guess what? It's actually gotten much louder.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think one of the reasons is because Trump became president during the birth of the golden age of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Obama was in power, was the president, the internet still hadn't fully developed to what it is today. Okay.
Well, Trump capitalized. He's the first president that used the internet in order to get him elected. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what my concern with Trump is, and especially after this whole thing with Jerusalem and the
Mm-hmm.
embassy,
Nice
is that
segue.
the thing is with this is that he's still keeping that rhetoric up. He's still whistleblowing to his fan base, but he's still pushing the agenda along quietly without you knowing. Trump has just pushed through a new tax bill that is going to decimate the American middle class, and his supporters don't realize it yet, and it's going to be too late by the time they realize it.
Okay, explain that, because I don't know. I haven't heard about that yet.
He's going after, and I'm telling you, Ayam, man, I've been telling you this since I first met you. If there's one thing I know a lot about, it's how the government's going after private property rights and real estate.
Okay.
Communism can be summed up in one fucking beautiful sentence. It is, you don't have private property, and that, when I mean private property, I mean land. You don't own land. This new Trump tax bill is going right after the middle classes. It's a massive land grab, and how it's being done is that he's capping taxes. Let's say if you take a mortgage out for a $500,000 home, you can't write the mortgage interest off as a tax write-off, which is going to crush the middle class. And he's capping if the property tax, he's capping it at $10,000. So if your property tax is above $10,000, you can't file a grievance against it.
Jesus.
Are you saying Trump is a
So
commie?
I don't know if you understand what I don't think if you can understand what that really means, is that anybody who is middle class or upper middle class, quote unquote, I mean, $500,000 house in America is upper middle class. It's a full blown attack on those people. These people are already hemorrhaging money with whatever type of loans, credit cards, businesses, health insurance. Also, it's going to crush them even more. Look at it this way: has Obamacare been repealed since Trump has been taken office? Has
No.
it?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
not
Okay. Is that wall he's been talking about being built? Has any construction been going on for that wall yet?
No.
I just saw prototypes, but I mean,
Prototypes.
how can I trust that?
Prototypes, right?
Yeah.
So fucking a cardboard cutout of what the wall coming soon. This fucking cardboard cutout, right? So that hasn't stopped, right?
Mm-hmm.
And immigration has not been reeled in. And he hasn't downsized any of the government yet. So what do you have? He hasn't done anything. It's a continuation.
Well, yeah, of course it is. I mean, does that surprise anybody? I mean, honestly, does it?
It does to me to a point, because he again, I thought he really was an out of the ballpark field. He came out of right field.
Out of left field, yeah.
Out of left field. Well, I would say right field, because that's where he's supposed to be coming from. But he hasn't done anything. But again, he keeps the rhetoric going. He's got he's attacking the NFL for its liberal narrative. He's attacking Muslims, as always. I mean, a Muslim is always the boogeyman in America now.
Mm-hmm.
So he continues to, he sheds some light on certain topics. I think the Chuck Scarborough controversy, where an intern was dead in his office when he was a governor or a senator or some bullshit. So he's brought to light certain things, and he's letting people know that he does have a lot of dirt on politicians and people in higher powers. But this whole thing with the whole embassy in Jerusalem, now wait a second. No one in the world is okay with this. I'm not okay with it. Why does a U.S. embassy have to be in the heart of Israel? In Cambodia.
Kushner is the real president of the United States.
Right. Well, Hardy, you know this. Living in Cambodia, where's the U.S. embassy in Cambodia?
It's right near Wat Phnom. It's pretty huge, right?
Okay. Right. What's Wat Phnom? What's Wat Phnom, Hardy?
Well, that's right in the center of. It's just a little park. It's right in the center of the city.
It's the center. It's the center of Cambodia. It's the dead center, ground zero of Cambodia, and you put a U.S. embassy right in the face of the Khmer people. So it's a form of colonialism. It's pure imperialism. You know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna put this U.S. embassy right on your capital, right at the center of your fucking nation, and to show you that I'm in control. We're in control right here.
Hmm. Well, uh, where is it now? Tel Aviv?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've never been to Israel. I don't know the layout. I don't know the geography very well. Is Tel Aviv the capital city of
Yes.
Israel? Okay. So Tel Aviv is the capital city.
Jerusalem is Jerusalem is the capital of the Abraham
Abrahamic faith.
Christo
Yes.
Abrahamic faith. Why
Yeah.
do you have to put a U.S. embassy at the center point of the Abrahamic faith?
Hmm.
Why?
I don't know.
It's to show that the U.S. it's pure imperialism. That's the way I look at it, and I use Cambodia as a prime example of this because again, the U.S. embassy in Cambodia is at the center point, the focal point of Cambodia, right there, 2 feet from it.
Interesting. Now,
But go ahead.
I was just going to say, I've heard a few talking heads that I'm subscribed to on YouTube. One of them being Ben Shapiro. Another one is Christ, what the hell? Steven Crowder.
Okay,
These guys are very conservatives. They're not fucking Trump fanboys.
typical moderate right.
Yes. And they're applauding this move. So why are they applauding it? Like I haven't really listened to all their points on it because I'm just not that interested. But
Because they're part of the. First of all, I think Ben Shapiro's a neocon.
he's a
Like,
Jew.
he's a Jew and he's a neocon. He's outspoken about the far left Jews, which I think is great. I think it's important to have Ben Shapiro be somebody. And David Horowitz is also another person who is outspoken about this. And Michael Savage, but Michael Savage and David Horowitz were both radical far left growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Savage best friend growing up was Allen Ginsberg.
Yeah, well, all of Hollywood elite Jews are far left.
Right. Well, Allen Ginsberg was this beat poet, homosexual from New York City, and Michael Savage used to like walk around naked with him during the '60s movement.
Of course,
And then out of nowhere, Michael Savage is now Michael Savage got Donald Trump elected. I mean,
wow.
that's how powerful Michael Savage is. I mean, in a lot of ways, he's great. I love Michael Savage because he sheds a light on a lot of the liberal lunatics. But again, and he does tell everybody, look, I was best friends with Allen Ginsberg growing up, and then he would shed some light on what it was like being friends with him. But hey, wait a second. You were far left back in the day. Now all of a sudden you're far right. So it seems like they fit the narrative when it's convenient in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
I mean, you probably heard that saying. Have you heard that saying? I forget who said it, but if you're not a socialist when you're young, then you have no heart. If you're not a conservative when you're old, then you have no brain.
Well, I think Winston Churchill quote that, but I just find it really strange that it could be two sides of the same coin is what I'm trying to get at when it comes to Ben Shapiro and Michael Savage and David Horowitz.
Right.
I
wouldn't doubt that at all. And again, like these guys are talking heads that I love a lot of what they talk about, but there's a lot of shit I think they're fucking loose.
Well, apparently Netanyahu slept at Jared Kushner's father's house prior to they were friends growing up. And Netanyahu graduated Philadelphia High School. Not many people know that. So again, here is Benjamin Netanyahu was he's technically half American,
Mm-hmm.
and he's really tight with the Kushner family. And mind you, I back in when America was founded, Thomas Jefferson wanted to load his cabinet with all of his friends. And the founding fathers told Thomas Jefferson, no, you can't be doing that. That's nepotism. You can't be having your friends in high political offices. Well, hello. Why is Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, now an advisor? What the hell is that about? I didn't elect Jared Kushner. I don't want Jared Kushner involved in anything. Why is he got to be involved with everything that's going on?
What do you think? Trump is just Jared Kushner's puppet?
It's quite possible. It's quite. But Kushner is very powerful, and also Chris Christie put Jared Kushner's father in jail, and that was part of the reason that Christie wasn't allowed to be a part of Trump's administration.
Mm. Well,
I mean, how many people know that? And I love Chris Christie. I'm a big Chris Christie supporter, and he really backed Trump up. He was right there with Trump all the way. And then Trump just threw him aside when Kushner said, "No, this guy put my father in jail. I don't want him in the administration." Well, who the fuck are you? We didn't tell you to be in this administration. We wanted Christie to be in this administration.
Which president in recent years has not had their picture taken at the Weeping Wall?
Oh, I have no idea.
None of them. They all have.
Did Reagan?
Probably.
Look, the neocons took root when the Rockefellers started dying off. See, when the Rockefellers were in power, they were nationalistic. Granted, they were still imperialist and what have you, but there was a Christian element to it. There was a nationalist element to it. And I think the American people were quite, in a lot of ways, okay with the Rockefellers. And once the Rockefellers started dying off in the late 70s, during the 80s, during the Reagan administration with Bush Sr., the neocons started taking a foothold in American politics.
You know what? I can't find a picture of Reagan at the Weeping Wall.
Yeah, I don't think he was. Again, this is the whole neocon agenda started around about 30 years ago. Again, when the Rockefellers again started dying off.
There's 1,000 pictures of Trump though.
Well, again, Trump is from New York, and being in New York, you have to, and New York real estate, you're obviously going to be dealing with Jews, but
you got to deal with the Jews.
Yeah, you gotta deal with that, But a lot of the anti-Semitism, anti-Jew, anti-Zionist propaganda, again, part of the alt left, is they for whatever reason think Jews in America are completely exonerated from all these cultural, social engineering, and cultural brainwashing taking place. They're in it too. They're not okay with it. They're not like, what the hell's going on? They're confused and baffled also. So it's not like that they're excluded from this, is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people get, a lot of Americans who've never met Jews before think that they're excluded from what's taking place when they're in the thick of it too, man.
Yeah, makes sense. Hey, there's a picture of Bill Clinton groping the Weeping Wall.
You groping it?
It's giving him head.
Well, again, it's funny how it's weird how they're going to be putting this whole embassy thing is taking place as soon as ISIS and the war in Syria has ended. I find that to be quite interesting.
That is interesting. And another thing,
talk about convenience.
You got to remember too, an embassy is a fucking target automatically in any foreign country. So, like, you're putting an American target in the middle of a very volatile political city, which I find is insane. Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's like
they're pure pissing. It's antagonizing. You're antagonizing the Muslim world. Why would you do that? Why?
Well, yeah, it's setting up to write the next movie of the week, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So what's next? So you attack the U.S. Embassy, then what? Oh, we need advisors on the ground in Lebanon. Right? I mean, all right. Oh, we gotta go after the West Bank again because this is where the family came from, and so on and so forth.
Exactly. That's what it sounds like to me. And don't be surprised if it does. Don't be surprised if the script has already been written and it's sitting on a Hollywood producer's desk as we speak.
These embassies cost hundreds of millions of dollars also. Who's paying for this shit? Hardy, you got some construction going on at your place, I hear.
Yeah, they're building an apartment right adjacent, like 2 inches away. And they were working below up until this week. Now I'm on the third floor, and they've made it up to the third floor now. So I got them like right outside my fucking window.
What? How many stories is it gonna be?
At least 3. I'm on the third floor, and they're building the third story right now. Which, in a way, that might be good news for the only reason that it's on the south side where the sun is, so it might make it a little bit cooler in the real hot season.
Is it owned by Chinese?
Probably. I'm not really sure who the owner is.
It's probably
Nah, if it's only 3 or 4 stories, it's just locals doing it.
Yeah. But it's pretty fucking noisy sometimes, but it's not as bad now as when they first started. When they first started, they were doing lots of jackhammering, and that was really fucking brutal. Now it's mostly just sawing and hammering. They're making these wooden forms to pour the cement and crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't miss that in Cambodia, man. I do not miss that.
Yeah. Well,
What don't you miss?
The amount of construction.
Oh,
just noise in general. Mind you,
that's like
rapid developing, rapid.
Yeah, that's like Java in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
Incredible. Is there a noticeable middle class there yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the days of it being, really feudal kind of system are long gone. In fact, even when I first moved here, I think there's always. I think Nick, your buddy, what's his name, the economist guy, the kung fu economist.
Antonio.
Yeah, I think he would disagree. He's still, he's the economy. He's the economist. He buys into this, real power distribution thing. But I think there's a pretty huge middle class. There's lots and lots of expensive cars on the road, and it's not just the capital. I mean, you go to the provinces, you see lots of the big villas and expensive cars and shit out in the provinces too. There's a huge middle class, and there's still some very, very poor people. There's still a lot of poverty.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it's, it's not like a feudal, 1% of the population has all the money and then everybody else is living in open sewers and shit. I mean, yeah, there's still open sewers, but that's not for lack of money. That's just because people would rather spend their money on SUVs than proper
infrastructure.
So that's people get a wrong perception about how poor the country is because you see garbage all over the streets and open sewers and shit. That's not a matter of poverty. That's a matter of priorities. They just don't have
correct
priorities.
Yeah. It's the same in a lot of Southeast Asian countries. And if there's a middle class in any of those countries, why is because what is it? The IMF bought their national bank.
Yes.
And started divvying out credits. That's how you create a middle class. I mean, that's how they've done it all
Well,
over.
the question is where's the money coming from? Many people say it's China. I tend to disagree with this. I think it's the IMF pumping cheap money being pumped on them.
They're basically, it's what happens is, and this has been I mean, this is getting into some deeper shit, but I mean, pretty much every Southeast Asian country shares the same Independence Day, and that's the day that they supposedly dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Japan, or very close to that date. So it's sometime in the middle of August. They all share that same date as an quote-unquote Independence Day. And it wasn't long after that, it didn't take long after that, to basically develop, to buy up the local currency, kill it, and then come in with credit. And basically divvy out credit to fucking rice farmers.
Right,
that's what happened.
People who have to pay tribute, just like in the feudal times, you've got all these people who have to pay tribute.
Yeah.
In the form of interest.
Yeah. And I mean that's how they did it. That's how infrastructure gets built. That's how they go from rice paddies to fucking BMWs, man. It's pretty amazing.
Well, they have a fetish for concrete in Cambodia. So if it's a tree, tear it down and pour concrete on top of it. On the soil.
Stump.
Well, I was
on
in
the stump, right? Yep.
I was in the bank cashing a check, and it took a while. I had to sit there for about half an hour. It kind of pissed me off. But during that half hour that I was sitting there, I swear to God, there was at least a half a dozen women, and they were all women coming in, and they had stacks of bills, like 6 inches long. These fucking stacks of bills, and they weren't all
Prostitutes.
hundreds. No, these were old women mostly, like middle aged. Well, they could have been
Yeah,
mamas,
it's old women. Yeah.
They were the pimps, man.
possibly, maybe from all these karaoke joints. But these were
Oh yeah.
big, big fucking wads of money, you know. And they, though, like I say, they weren't all hundreds, but a lot of them were hundreds. You know, like there was my fucking retirement right there. You know, I could easily retire on that money comfortably, and just one of these stacks that these women come in here with. And I saw that
Well,
when I was.
a lot of that is again, it's real estate speculation. A lot of the money and the wealth driving Cambodia at the moment is real estate speculation, and
Yeah.
it's hyped up because of the Chinese. It's being hyped up. So the thing that's happening in Phnom Penh, in the capital, is that they're expanding Phnom Penh, and it's driving up land prices quite exuberantly.
Oh, the PUC main campus, they're going to be moving to Tuo Tompong, and they're going to be moving like in about a month. Apparently, some Korean company bought the land, which is, you know, their current main campus. It's right in the middle of the, well, not right in the middle, but close to the middle of the city.
Right,
And
it's in a hot spot. It's in a hot spot of the capital.
some Korean company wants to buy it and build a shopping mall there. So the PUC main campus is going to be moved down to Tuo Tompong, near where you used to live.
Right, but it's all a house of cards, and it's the same. What's taking place in Cambodia is no different than what's taking place in most bourgeois mega cities. It's okay. You're going to build a supermarket, or again a shopping mall. Well, who's shopping at these malls? And you know firsthand that no one's shopping at the new Japanese mall located in the heart of the city, and it's being subsidized by the taxpayers.
There's tons of stores in there that are all covered up because nobody was shopping at them, so they're all closed up.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think there's that. I mean, the middle class is a facade. I don't think there's again. It's much better in Cambodia than it is in America at the moment. But even in America, they're closing shops left and right. You know, they're saying the thing now is that they're saying, oh, Macy's and J.C. Penney's are going underwater. No one shops at retail anymore. No one goes to the malls anymore. Now, wait a second. If I'm buying a pair of jeans, I'm not going to buy the pair of jeans online.
Mhm.
I still gotta try the jeans on. I still gotta try the shirts on and my shoes. So they're saying that Amazon is now eating up retail business. I tend to completely disagree with this.
No, that's
This is a
bullshit.
mainstream. Yeah, this is a mainstream narrative. They're saying Amazon is taking the business away from a lot of these retail stores. No, no one has disposable income.
No, you're absolutely right. Nobody does have disposable income. Everybody's keeping they're keeping their wallets closed. I want to I want to kind of drift away from Cambodia a bit because Nick earlier was talking to me, John, that you guys were discussing something regarding MGTOW. What was it again, Nick?
Oh,
I don't remember what was it.
was it the messages that we were exchanging? I sent you a link to this site that I thought was pretty cool. I don't think it was a MGTOW site per se, but it's MGTOW related. He didn't call himself MGTOW, but it's called Face and LMS. Face like in capital letter, and then LMS. I'm not sure what LMS stands for. I think it might be Last Man Standing. But I thought this was some pretty cool stuff. This guy was basically just saying that you know, it's a bunch of bullshit that women are not interested in men's looks and that women are more personality oriented. I mean, it sounds like the same old shit, you know, preaching to the converted and nothing new to say. But this guy had lots of good experiments and lots of data to.
Well, drop some on me. What was he talking about?
Well, the just having on the street. Well, one clip that he showed, it was about PUAs, guys getting banned from a shopping mall in I forget what city it was, somewhere in the United States. But he was just pointing out how a lot of this PUA stuff, it doesn't work, and that
PUA is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
And that a man's height and facial features are important. And he would like go on to social media sites, and he would put like a really, really good picture, a good looking picture of a really, really good looking guy in his profile, and then say like really, really stupid shit or disgusting shit, or say the stuff that would get a normal guy just completely horrified, that would horrify most women. But these women, because the guy was really, really good looking, he would get all kinds of attention. You know, women were just like throwing themselves at him, you know, and saying, you know, oh, you can rape me and all this sort of stuff. You know, just
Well, yeah, 50 Shades of Grey
yeah,
wasn't a fucking fluke, man. I mean, women are turned on by that shit. You can be the most attractive man in the world. If you're the most attractive man in the world, you can basically just you can grab all the pussies you want. But
yeah.
it's not
Oh, they
just
mentioned
it's not just looks though. If you have money, you can do it. Like again,
yeah. Now money, but then she's not attracted to you. She's attracted
attracted
to
to your
money.
money.
Woman to be actually attracted to you takes looks.
Yes.
And he pointed out that, you know, guys who are rich and famous but not good looking, these guys can get attractive women, but they're typically very tormented relationships that don't last very long, relationships with lots of conflict.
Yes. But isn't it interesting? Isn't it not? Is it not interesting that if you took the richest man in the world and you sat him next to the most handsome man in the world, who do you think the women would go after?
No, yeah, Robin, of course.
I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, there was one experiment where this guy who was like 5 foot tall, they put him in a lineup with these other guys, and it was getting so bad for him. These women were rejecting him so badly that they said to the women, "Okay, what if we tell you this guy was a millionaire?" And they said, "No, no, no, we still want the other guys." You know, so even money didn't.
Shit.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think those women were being honest?
I mean, I can't remember every little detail from these videos. You know, there was several of them, but if you guys look at these videos, you might find them interesting. You know, because I know a lot of these MGTOW videos, it's, you know, I'm getting a little bit bored with some of them because a lot of it's the same thing over and over again. But
that's why I stopped making videos. I got tired of doing the same shit over and over again.
Kind of entertaining.
But here's the thing, man. Look, I'll have to take a look at those videos, but from what you've told me, number one, the women that said that if that 5-foot guy was a millionaire, they wouldn't go with him, they're full of shit, man. You got to understand. Look, and I know either of you can confirm this based on your own personal experience. Okay, women are the least transparent when it comes to their motives of the sexes. They're the least transparent when it comes to their motives.
Right.
If you asked her candidly, if you pressed her and she wasn't on a camera, absolutely she would have jumped on that 5-foot guy's dick for $1 million.
They're saying all this after the fact, right? If they would have been, how this would have started, if they would have said, "Oh, he's a millionaire," by the way, I think the conversation would have changed.
It would have changed. Absolutely, it would have changed. I mean, when it comes to their motives, women they lack transparency completely, and the reason, in my opinion, the reason is because they can. It's very simple. It's and again, I know you guys were talking, or Nick was bringing up stuff. Oh, they're trying to deconstruct women. You don't have to deconstruct women. Deconstruct biology.
Right.
Women get pregnant and give birth. Women are the main shareholder when it comes to the business of reproduction. They're the beginning and the end of reproduction. And that simple fact alone has, over the years, evolved the survival traits and personalities of women to a certain degree, where it's in their best interest not to be transparent because they can get away with it.
Right.
We don't need to deconstruct women. We need to deconstruct our physical biology if you want to understand kind of the women's behavior. And the biological behavior and fundamental behavior of human beings comes down to this very simple fact. We are sexually dimorphic, which means that there's two sexes, male and female, and we reproduce by having sex. The woman gets pregnant, and the male of our species is larger and stronger than the female. So the sexual dimorphism of our species, that fact alone dictates a lot of how women behave today.
Mm-hmm.
That's the deconstruction that needs to be understood. Because if you look at the dimorphism of certain apes, and a lot of people, for good reasons, go to apes because they're very similar to human beings in a lot of their social structures and a lot of their DNA, etc. But if you look at the sexual dimorphism of certain apes, I think bonobos are the ones that I've heard come up most when it comes to sexual dimorphism, where the male and the female are almost exactly the same size. Okay, so the physical size and strength of the male and females are very, very similar. Okay, they share similar strength, similar height and weight between both sexes. And if you look at the relationships on an animal level, there is very little pair bonding. It's kind of like an orgy. The family structure is very loose. But then if you go to, say, gorillas in the ape kingdom, where the sexual dimorphism is huge, the difference between the size and strength of the male compared to the female is huge. It's much broader than the difference between human males and females. When the sexual dimorphism is so far leaning toward the male side, where the male is so much stronger and bigger than the female, what you have is, in those societies, an alpha male that fucks every female and passes on his DNA. Human beings fall somewhere in between both those apes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the same sexual dimorphism as it's not as great as the gorilla, and it's much greater than the bonobo. And in our little framework, we find, that's where you start when you want to understand basically how we relate to one another, because it all comes down to reproduction and survival. That's the deconstruction you need.
Right.
Yep.
Well, one is not born a woman, but becomes a woman. And what's happening today is you're degendering both sexes to have, again, this androgyny across the board for both sexes, where it's becoming like somewhat of a leveled playing field. That's why you bring in transgenders.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you bring in homosexuality. This way you have a level playing field. And if we want to go really far fringe with this type of conversation, is I think Saudi Arabia just acknowledged the rights for robots or AI, artificial intelligence, and I kind of find it funny that it's Saudi Arabia that has allowed this type of law to be passed.
I've seen that too, man. I don't understand that shit. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
but
so
anyway,
there's something's going on with that needs to be brought to light. Where again, even what's his name, Paul Elam, talking about, I can't wait for sex robots to appear. Well, wait a second. We've already deconstructed where the homosexuals are allowed to get married. Well, why not just marry a robot?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Hey, this robot knows everything I like. This robot can cook and clean and do everything I love. And this goes right back to how women are obsessed with dogs. Next to my my place of business, they opened a puppy daycare center. Hold on a second. That's not supposed to be a puppy daycare center. That's supposed to be for for children daycare center. See what I'm saying? You see how we're completely, and again, this is purely a collapse of a civilization where you're opening a dog daycare sitting center, and all these coffee shops, and all these lucrative, decadent type of behaviors coming to full fruition. And again, it goes back to lack of external threats, because if you have an external threat, you can drop the nonsense. You got to survive right now. Well, guess what? You're surviving, and you don't have you don't have a threat. It keeps going and going and going, where you don't have, look, Jordan Peterson brings it up, where he says when you're hungry, the only thing you're thinking about is getting food. All the other things that are going on around you mean nothing. When you're so hungry, I'll give a good example. My brother, every time my brother is hungry, he's just angry. Okay, so you can't really talk to someone that's hungry, because all he's thinking about is getting food and nourishment, and he's just going to be aggravated and angry until he gets food. Well, the same concepts goes when you're trying to survive, Because the
Yes,
last thing
survival.
you're going to be thinking, the
Absolutely.
last thing you're going to be thinking about is your Wi-Fi connection and your Rolex watch when someone with a machete is, running down the street trying to lop your head off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's funny because you brought up the sex robot or the sex robots or mannequins, etc. There's a lot of talk. There's talk about that inside MGTOW communities. And one of the guys that's been talking about it a lot is Turd Flinging Monkey. I'm going to drop his name because I respect the guy. I did some good talks with him in the past, and I'm sure people listening know who he is. He has gone out and bought a sex doll. Okay, and this is public knowledge. It's not like I'm revealing some secret of his, because he has an Instagram page of his sex doll.
And his main advertiser is that dollhouse company that sells them too, right?
Yes. And he takes pictures of the doll and in different poses, in skimpy clothing, and it has tons of followers on Instagram.
Celestina.
Tons. Yeah, Celestina Monkey. That's right. Celestina Monkey. So the trope with sex dolls, people talk about them a lot. I don't, unless you're talking like 2,500. Unless you're talking hundreds of years into the future, when technology maybe can do it, can accommodate it, it's not going to replace a real woman or a real man. It's impossible.
No, I agree.
But is that for generations, women have been allowed to shove all sorts of vibrating objects up their cunts as a replacement for a real penis, and that's considered empowering. It's considered you go girl.
Right, it's a you go girl. Vibrator is a you go girl move.
Yeah. How they brag about how many objects they own that they shove up their cunts, to pleasure themselves. But as soon as the playing field it becomes to a man's advantage, where I'm getting tired of jerking off with my hand. Here's a nice doll. I'm gonna fuck it. Suddenly it's like fucking end of the world. End of the world. Men want to fuck dolls. Nah, I don't buy that shit.
Well, the main crux of the situation is that it's a purely a depopulation type of long-term being initiated upon the people. And again, Japan, I look at Japan and Australia as kind of the incubator test babies for a lot of this, trying to push this depopulation type of program. I don't know how Africa gets factored into all this, because Africa's population is out of control. But this is purely what the long-term strategy is how they got to depopulate the world. And for that, because of consumption patterns and because everyone wants an American, United States for that matter, United States style middle class, so to speak, the world you can't do it. You can't have 2 billion Chinese people live the way Americans do. You can't do it.
Absolutely not.
Can't do it, man.
Well, this is the thing people don't understand is like different political structures that exist in different countries for different people exist not because of the simple idea of the political structure, but because that society has adopted it and it's functioned and worked for them, for those people, their history, their people. You can call it race if you want. I prefer to call it culture. So you can't have unadulterated capitalism in China and expect things to go the same way they do in
Ayam, in Cambodia, while I was in Cambodia, it was a beautiful thing that I witnessed. I saw a Bentley completely submerged on a city street because there was no infrastructure in place for the water to be run off. And I'm just looking at this and I go, they can't handle this type of this unfettered type of capitalism, because they have nothing. You can't have the Bentley until you put sewers in. I'm sorry,
absolutely,
fucking third worlders.
Exactly. And you have to remember, America is an extension of European culture that had already developed infrastructure They'd already developed aqueducts, running water, etc. Oh, somebody's in. Somebody's got the video
It's not
on.
me.
Oh, Cabin Boy's coming.
Okay, Cabin Boys, mute the live chat, mute the live video, man. We're getting echo.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Okay, no, it's me. It's me. Okay, got it. Hey guys, how's it going?
Okay. Cabin Boys, yeah.
Oh man, it's so good to hear you guys' voices again. How you guys doing?
We're good, man. We're good.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Thank you, Cabin Boy.
You are awesome, man. I wish I could have your accent because I could get laid any night I want.
Accent. I like your accent.
Oh my god. Right on, guys. How you doing, John?
Great, just fine. It's a little bit noisy around here, and I got a bit of a.
Who's got the video going on?
Geez, wait, hold on.
No, not I.
I don't.
All
think
right.
I have mine.
I think it was me. Sorry. Okay, so where we? Yeah, so the consumption patterns of the world. If do you guys know about those stones in Georgia?
Yes, the
there's
Georgia
stones that
Guidestones.
they keep the stones. Right. We still don't know who put those there. And to America's credit, they keep getting destroyed,
Vandalized.
graffiti, and vandalized
Beautiful.
over and over and over again. Yeah. So I do think that's pretty awesome. But again, you look at Agenda 21, which is now Agenda 2030, and what do they push? The big thing is pushing women's rights. What does women's rights mean? Putting them in the workforce, getting rid of teenage pregnancy, which is the way it's been for the since the dawn of time, is
Well, the destruction
knocking
of
up
the family
16,
structure.
17, 18-year-olds.
They want the family structure done.
Right? We're talking about destroying the family structure. Well, what happens when you destroy the family structure?
Well, it's the foundation of society. Families,
right? But you get rid of culture. You're destroying culture when you get rid of the family structure. So there won't be Italian cuisine anymore. There won't be Indian cuisine anymore. It's so on and so
wait,
forth.
hold on.
There's
Indian
no
cuisine?
music. Not India. I'm talking about India, not
East
one
India.
First Nation.
Oh, you thought that? Yeah. Anyways, go on.
Right. So what happens, and you can see it already, where a lot of Italian restaurants are closing up in New York, and now you're having Hispanic restaurants open up, right? Because now the Italian Americans are becoming less and less of a cultural influence in New York.
Right.
So you uproot Italian Americans and then put them in Texas. Well, wait a second. Italians don't really belong in Texas. There's a big clash of cultures right there.
What?
So
What
again,
are you
you're
talking
uprooting people.
Spaghetti westerns, man.
You're up
Spaghetti.
spaghetti, right? You're there's the MGTOW Korean who chimes in a lot of our chats. Now let's take him for example. He's gone from the Korean Peninsula, and now he's in New York City, right? I mean, now he's found a little niche, his group of people in probably most likely Queens, and now let's just say 1 or 2 generations later, he's got to go move to Montana.
Oh
Right?
man, Montana.
So
No, that's
you're
the
just
worst place for him to move to because.
Well, I'm giving Montana as an example, but again, you just keep uprooting people left and right, and you start to lose your ethnic identity when you keep uprooting people over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's strange for a Korean man, that lives the MGTOW lifestyle to go to Montana of all states because with every meal, what do you get? You get fries, gravy. They're like fat people down here in Montana. I used to go there and I was just like, oh gross. It smells like gravy, and then there's a white, sweaty white man there with this what do you call it? Duck Dynasty.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
So are you saying that people from Montana are generally overweight? Is that what you're saying?
yes, of course, yes, because like the diets change in every state. You got the ones that live near the coast; they eat fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're healthy and they become porn stars or like, you know, what do you call them? It's weird. I don't know what to say, but it's from YouTube. They make their own YouTube channel, and they're like, "Hey, check me out." You know,
Are you talking about? What are you talking about? Porn
like they're
stars?
no, like YouTube
Cam girls?
figures. You know,
Cam girls.
cam girls. Yeah, something like that. They just expose their life totally from when they wake up till they go to bed, and and I'm thinking, okay, well, what's their diet like? You know, like in California, you got everybody that has the abs and the body, the tits, the ass, everything. But when you think about people in Montana, right? They're fat and they're hairy.
Well, yeah, they're typical Midwesterners. They're usually fat, but here, New York City, Korean MGTOW. You know, he's talking about how the Korean community wants him to be quiet about men going their own way. But I'm sure for you, and I've seen Korean women, they're just as nasty as white girls.
Oh
And
God.
probably a little bit
Oh, come on,
yeah,
don't
they're
say that.
vicious.
Yeah, there
No
are.
way.
Oh,
They
dude!
are.
First of all, some of them are smoking hot. I saw like just bombshell
Yeah.
Korean women in Cambodia, man. But you see, like the haughtiness in their walk, and I'm like, God damn, you're just as bad as a fucking New York City bitch. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well,
You know?
I'm reading NYC Korean MGTOW stuff, and I'll tell you, man. Okay, I lived in Korea for 3 months. That's it. I lived in South Korea for 3 months.
You lived in South Korea for 3
South
months.
Korea, yeah, for 3 months. I lived there for 3 months.
Did you learn Taekwondo?
No, I did not learn Taekwondo.
What? Well, anyways, go on. Yeah.
But I worked for Koreans in Jakarta a couple times. Whenever you're dealing with language as a business, Koreans are there. They're somewhere.
Yeah.
They're somewhere there. And I'm working with Koreans now in Canada, and I couldn't believe it. I come back to Canada, and I come back to Canada, and I go, okay, I'm done with Asia, and all of a sudden I'm working with Asians again. But in my experience with Korean women and the relationships, how men have relationships with Korean women, they on the outside they have a very, very traditional sense of how things go.
Right.
Korean women will be like,
Docile.
it's my job to cook and for the man.
Yes,
and
I noticed that. Yes, with them.
There's a small bowl of Korean noodles and some kimchi. There you go. There's your dinner. You know.
All right, go on.
Yes,
Oh,
and
go ahead.
So the Korean men, and again, look at NYC Koreans right on my wavelength here. The men are fucking horribly cucked. Like it's incredible.
They're what?
Horribly cucked.
They work themselves to death, man.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. It feels like they don't sleep. You know, they
do work themselves.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they work themselves. The problem with Koreans is like they'll be on a vacation and they'll hire a tutor on vacation to teach the kids while the kids are supposed to be on vacation.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. They work themselves.
When I go to the liquor store, you know, like I go there, like if drink, I go there, I see the same people, and then if I go there, they're still there. It feels like they never slept, and it was just, you know, like I drink deer piss, and you didn't sleep all night, like. I just saw you like 4 hours ago.
Well, I could imagine with Korean women in New York City.
Nick?
And they're Korean, so it just gets ratcheted up to such a level where I don't blame NYC Korean for being outspoken. He's probably just like, well, look at them. Look at, do I want to settle down with this animal? Look at her with her Gucci bag and her Hello Kitty knapsack. Fuck this. I'm not fucking tolerating it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay. Well, NYC Korean MGTOW said I had to leave Korea because of their inhumane living conditions, drinking culture, work culture, toxic people. Well, yeah, that's all.
If you're talking about inhumane, are you talking NYC? Are you talking about like their micro apartments that people fucking live in? because I fucking lived in one.
Yeah, they all live in apartment buildings. They don't have backyards. They live like anchovies. Who the fuck wants to live like that? You know?
Anchovies.
Right. Well, this is the problem in Cambodia is that they're building all these high rises, but the Khmer people, the Cambodians, want more kind of what America has, where it's a single family home with a cow in the backyard and a hammock. They don't want to be crammed in a micro apartment, and it's not going to work. It's going to completely backfire on Cambodia, where you're just going to have a bunch of empty high rises. The Koreans have been conditioned to live like anchovies.
Yeah.
And that's why they're working themselves to death. It's a little bit more of like a Chinese type of influence on Korea, where again you're just a worker bee, you know,
Well,
and that's it.
You know, the high-rise apartments here in Lethbridge, it's all for the old people, right? And what I experienced here in Lethbridge is that the Korean people are managing, or they're like landlords, you know, and they're very picky. They're very, like from my experience, having a Korean couple as a landlord, they always bug for rent. Do we have a rent? Yeah, I'll have it in a couple of weeks. I pay them the rent, and then 2 weeks later, you have a rent for this month. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're gonna stop by.
I always tell people that all the Korean. I tell customers that all the Koreans in Canada that own all these stores and shops, they're actually sleeper cells for North Korea.
Yeah,
for Kim Jong Un.
Yeah,
That's
true because that's what I always thought. I thought that like in the Korean, like the people that run the liquor stores, do they sleep under you know, like where they work at and wake up?
Well, yeah, in New York, the again, I'm not, you know, comparing Koreans to Chinese, but the Chinese have bought up a lot of these ice cream these ice cream chains in New York, and I'll go in around midday and there's no one there. I'm like, where is everybody? And then the person kind of like jumps and wakes up in the back room, and I can see them rubbing their eyes. I'm like, you were just sleeping in the. How long have you been here? You're sleeping here, aren't you? But this is what's happening with a lot of the Asian immigrants coming into America, is that it's a form of indentured servitude where they come over here, and I don't know if we covered this, me and you already, but they come over here and in order to get a U.S. visa and passport and papers, it's a form of indentured servitude. So, I brought you into America. It cost me this amount, so you have to come in. You have to work for me for this amount of years.
Absolutely, they do that, man. It's incredible. I remember talking to some of these Koreans here, like, why don't you just hire like local white boys? Oh no. We're gonna get somebody a visa. We're gonna bring them over.
So much for diversity with them, you know. This is why you don't start importing foreign cultures, because they're just never gonna commingle with you. It's just not gonna happen.
No,
African Americans still don't get along with white Americans.
Well, look at it this way.
Like on my side of the thing, you know, like with all these immigrants coming to Lethbridge, you know, there's a lot of Native people that say, "Hey, fuck, we shouldn't let these people come into our." You know, on our land and rape our, you know, like
rape your squaws.
Yeah, well, no, not that, but take all the jobs. You know, the easy jobs. For instance, Nick. I don't think he heard about Tim Hortons. I don't think they have Tim Hortons in.
Yeah, I know what Tim Hortons is. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It's like
I've been
Starbucks.
to Canada. I've seen it.
And you know what the thing is, with the Tim Hortons, the late night crew, they're all Filipino people. They could stay up all night and they could work all night, and they love it. They love it. They never complain about the job. And with the white people that live or came from here, you know, in Lethbridge, they fucking complain. 8 hours a day.
Well, check this out. Cabin Boy. This fireproof troll here, one of our viewers. He says, because responding to New York City Korean, he's like, they don't do that here. They live many to a home, work crap jobs, buy businesses. Like he's fallen into the sort of narrative like these We're workers than the local people, and they all cram into one house. And no. It's not a fantasy, man. It's not a fucking fantasy.
No.
Ask New
You know
York
what?
Korean.
They roll the red carpet for these immigrants here, and it upsets a lot of people here in Lethbridge. You know,
Well,
these people from the Philippines, they have doctorate degrees, but it's useless here in Canada. You know.
Well, good
I
point.
was just going to say about my topic, but go ahead.
Okay, good point about. We'll get to your topic in a bit in a minute here, but a good point here that New York City Korean said about this topic is that a lot of them are illegally here, and they're very xenophobic, and that's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
What is xenophobic?
Xenophobic. It's basically
You don't
they
look
don't
like me. You don't look like me.
Yeah.
You don't dress like me. You don't act like me. Therefore, you got to stay away from me.
Yeah, you're my enemy. You're not like me. Go away. Yeah. That's xenophobic. So the and it's true. It's absolutely true. And look, Nick, you and I can attest as former expatriates. And John, you're still there, John?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You are currently an expatriate.
Yes.
When you are an expatriate in another country, you never, ever completely melt in with the culture. You can't. It's impossible.
No, and I don't think I really want to anyway.
No, and who would want to? Who would absolutely want to?
A liberal.
Exactly. A liberal. But no, the
A
liberals
liberal will do everything he can. It's like you ever see the movie Zulu?
No, I haven't. What happened?
Oh, it's a classic. I can't believe you've never seen that. So there's a Christian missionary, and he wants to be one with the blacks and the Zulu warriors, and like the British colonial. It's an old white guy and one white woman, and then the colonial soldiers, the redcoats, are trying to tell this missionary like, "Yo, we're here to save you. Okay, listen, shut up." Because they're never going to accept you for who you are with your white skin. And he's like, no, they're one of us. I have documentation that I'm one of the Zulu people. And then like the redcoats are like, Jesus Christ, this fucking moron, man, this guy right here. You know,
Actually,
but again, you know, the problem is, so this guy he lives in Queens. All right, now Queens was where
I'm gonna go for a quick smoke break. I'll be right back.
Cabin boy, you there?
Yeah, cabin boy.
Yeah,
you don't have to announce it. Just go.
Please do not announce it every single time. Just go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. You're the birthday boy. Sorry. Yeah. I'll be back.
All right. So he's living in. I'm assuming he's living in Flushing, Queens. Okay, I already kind of know what community and where he lives. I know all the different. We're very segregated in New York on ethnic grounds. Ethnic grounds, I live in the most segregated place in the whole world, what happens to be New York, the 5 boroughs and Long Island, and it's broken up into territories, right? And so I'm assuming he's living in Flushing, Queens. Now the problem becomes, okay, now there's more Koreans. And there's more Chinese showing up. And now you're displacing other Americans that have been here longer. Well, guess what? Now you're going to start causing a conflict because he's telling me I already know his background is probably xenophobic and what have you. But now you're in my turf, you're taking my money, and you're going to start buying up my land. Well, this is going to start causing major problems, and there's going to be local strife inside the community. Diversity does not work. It's a complete and utter failure. Right? So now he's got it. Now what he's got to understand, though, I'm not directly pointing it at him. Now I'm not saying him directly, but I'm signaling out his community, and I'm just going to let him know is now you're coming here, your people are coming more and more, and this is more again. United States was based on European values and a European value system, not an Oriental system. Okay, so now again, you want to talk about xenophobic? You don't look like me. You don't act like me. They're probably Christian, which is kind of a good thing. You don't do anything like me. The bottom line is you don't look like me.
Yeah.
Right. But now, if you speak English native, if it's your first language and you have no accent, and let's say you sound just like me, then it's kind of okay. But again, the you know, when I want to say when Americans went over to Vietnam, and the African Americans and the white Americans, that's where a lot of the racial harmony actually started breaking apart. And actually, we found a bond with African Americans and white Americans was fighting over in Vietnam. Is that you put all your differences aside, because the Vietnamese know, okay, he's black and he's white, but they sound the same.
Exactly.
Right. So therefore, they're from the same land.
Yeah.
So if New York City, Korea sounds, hey, how the fuck are you doing, yo? What's going on over here? So, right. So I'm like, oh shit, he's one of me. He's one of my people, right? But if he's not assimilating and not speaking like me and doesn't look like me on top of it, well, that's a major fucking problem.
Absolutely. Well,
because that means you're not trading. That means you're not trading with the locals. That means you're not commingling with the locals around you.
Yeah, you're not trying.
You're not trying. Right. Exactly.
You're not trying. And how many generations is it going to take?
Right. And,
like,
you know, if I talk to an African-American from, you know, East New York, he sounds just like me. Yo, what's fucking going on, man? Yo, I just fucking drove my car. I'm like, yo, I know exactly what you're saying. So there's a little bit of a camaraderie. Even though he doesn't look like me, we got the same, like Mike Tyson, I can have a full-blown conversation with Mike Tyson, no problem, because he's from the same neck of the woods as me. You see what I'm saying? Versus someone from Texas or someone from Indiana.
Tyson. He's got like a feminine voice.
Yeah, but he's from I know everything, you know, I know Mike Tyson, what his background is and everything, so I understand his culture, you know, not too far off from me. Again, he's Brooklyn, you know, my family's from Brooklyn too. But again, if you start bringing people in, again, this is what's happening in France and Paris, where you're having these Muslims completely segregated with the locals, and then they start taking welfare. And what I think this was Molyneux talked about this, is that you have these welfare islands where once you're on welfare, you don't have to talk to the local population.
You don't have
to assimilate.
You don't have to
so
work.
Now you don't have to work. And now when I'm trying to apply for jobs, and it says you must speak Mandarin, must speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And that fucking you have no idea how mad I get when I go on a job interview and they say, oh, do you speak Spanish? I go, no, I fucking don't. You know, I don't speak Italian neither, do I?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well,
so
I can throw out the whole fucking diversity bullshit and the anti-Americanism and the anti-white, the anti-North American, anti-West bullshit. Real simple. Real simply.
Don't announce it.
Yeah, don't announce it, dude. I can do it real simply. Go to any country in the world. Any country in the world. It doesn't matter if it's third, second, first world, anywhere, and try to find American town. Try to find America town.
Well, I think
try to find Canada town.
I think the big idea there is through music. You know, I've seen a French kid that speaks very good the French language, and he's singing fucking Elvis music.
Okay.
Like Elvis.
Okay, but what we're talking about is if you for some strange reason, North Americans and Canadians and Americans, I'll count that, and Western Europeans and Australians, when they assimilate into a different culture, they don't form towns and name it after their self.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that,
well, we do in America.
Well, yeah, you could.
Well,
I'm from New York. We have Little Italy, we have Little Chinatown, we have this community, we have that community.
Well, we have it here too, right? Ayam, right here in Lethbridge.
Yeah. No, I know, but that's not. I'm talking about if you go to. For example, if you go over to China, there's no America town. All right, there's no Little America.
Well, there should be,
but there isn't, and I find that a very strange phenomenon, because it tends to be that Americans and generally North Americans do not when they expatriate, they try to assimilate much more than other cultures do. I think this is a very fascinating phenomenon.
Well, you gotta think about it. They do it through food and language.
No. I'm talking about Americans in other countries. There is no Little America.
No, of course
Chinatown,
not.
there's Little Korea,
Not
etc.
yeah. Not in
Now, when
China.
you no, there's no Little America in China. The point I'm making is that it seems to me,
Well,
and again, this is just an observation. It seems to me that expatriatism, especially coming from the West to Eastern countries or other countries, it doesn't it involves more assimilation than the other way around. And on top of that, when other cultures come to our countries, not only do we have to put up with them not assimilating or not trying to assimilate, but also completely bad mouthing the country and cultures they're living in. Do you understand?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so like it's like,
well, this can go a step
it-
further. Now you're coming into my country, and now you have the right to vote. Well, now you're going to vote for the one
Yeah.
that's against its own, you're against the native population,
Yeah,
and then
which is very dangerous.
Trump-
Yes.
Which is very dangerous.
absolutely.
you that Trump that was elected, like
But here's the thing, though, is that what I think Benjamin Franklin wrote about this is that when the colonials, the Europeans, arrived to North America, the Europeans ran to go live with the Native Americans, not the. Why is that? Because they're more free in a lot of ways. They're not attached to a monetary system. They don't understand this concept of being poor. Well, what is being poor? Who defines what poverty is? Not having a Wi-Fi connection, not having running water. Your definition of poverty is based on Western value, but based on Western values.
Yeah, poor Indians have to beg for change to buy their booze, right?
yeah, around here, yeah, they do that. It's rampant.
So again, your concept of poverty is off kilter because your definition of poverty is you don't have a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like connection. Where if you were to tell a Cambodian, "Oh, you're poor," they won't understand what do you mean I'm poor? I have my cow, I have a roof over my head, and I have food. I'm quite content with this. I don't consider this being poor.
It's all about basic assets, that are met.
Yeah, what's that
and,
Hardy?
If you have the basic resources that you need to live, like land and so on, something to eat, a cow and those things you mentioned, then how, that's not really poor. We base, like you say, we think we're well off. We have a Wi-Fi connection, all that crap. But fuck, I don't own any land. So if you don't own any land, if you don't have any way to support yourself other than having to work for somebody, how can you say that you're not poor?
If poverty is measured by land ownership, then I think a lot of us are poor.
No, it's just.
Well, again, that's why you shouldn't be bringing people from another country into your country and they're buying up your land, which is, again, a very dangerous concept.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always say, like the white man will not survive on the reservations, like my people, right? So, like if I brought Nick to the blood reserve, he wouldn't survive.
You don't want to go. He doesn't want to go to the fucking blood reserve, man. Jesus Christ.
But maybe I would like it because you guys are more free in a lot of different ways. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to deal with a credit card. I don't have to deal with my cell phone bill. I don't have to deal with my car insurance. I don't have to deal I don't have to deal with the rat wheel. And again, we're forcing the rat wheel onto other cultures now, which is which is what compound interest, bankism, corporatism. Right? This is the rat wheel. This is what we're living in. I mean, just the usury. The day in and day out grind, a lot of it's tied up into just compound interest in this hyperinflation that we're experiencing, which ties into why Bitcoin is becoming so popular.
Yeah. It's funny you brought that up. And just on a side note, for a second, Nick, we don't have to go into this, but bringing up interest and usury. Did you know that's haram in Islam?
Yeah, of course.
Usury is actually haram. Yeah.
Of course. And they don't tolerate this. And again, we're forcing Muslim nations to be in debt now. Saudi Arabia is a prime example of this, this type of system that's taking place. We're living in inflation, but a deflationary period where your products you're buying don't have the same value as they used to. A pizza pie is much more expensive, and the quality and quantity is much smaller.
Yeah. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We have traded our
guys,
self-reliance for things like smartphones and technology and Wi-Fi connections.
mhm.
Well, now you're getting into cabin boys.
Oh, yeah, I was
Psyche.
just gonna say, like with my topic that I was gonna bring up here, I took some notes about it.
Hmm.
And when I first got into the chat, I kind of came in probably like 5 minutes late, and I was hearing you guys talk about like all this stuff about men and women and
Hmm.
stuff. Um, my topic is the infidelity of women, and the big question is does the infidelity of women push men into the MGTOW lifestyle?
Does
And like
women's
you guys could,
infidelity kind of force the hands of men to kind of go MGTOWs? That's what you're saying?
yes, yeah, and it'll branch off into that. Like, what do you guys got to say about that? Like,
Okay, well let's
is
get
that
John.
true?
John, answer that question first.
Oh, I would say definitely yes. I think that's just part of it. I think it's the whole package of just every kind of abuse that you can think of against men is coming down on us, and I think infidelity. I don't think that's the whole picture, but it's definitely a part of it that's driving men to MGTOW. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, and when I was doing my personal research, and what I got is from like a U.S. based, how do you say it, a report here. Okay, in 1990, a 40% increase of reports noted that women have been unfaithful. And
Hmm.
in 1990, if you ever really think about the history, that's where that's when Desert Storm was happening. Okay, and
Hmm.
if you ever watch the movie Jarhead, okay, and you think about it, you watch it, there's a lot of infidelity within that movie. Okay, 'cause the main character, Jake Gyllenhaal, he had a girlfriend, and when he was talking to her, she was mentioning, "Oh, the guy that works at the movie theater, he's just a friend, right?" And he was like,
Yeah.
he's really kind of like a lot of thoughts are going through his head, like, are they fucking? You know, because I'm how many miles away, right? And then another
Well,
scene
like, what is it?
is that
NYC MGTOW says that NYC is very blue pilled and it's the literal representation of the Matrix. I 100% agree with that statement. It is, it's all a
mhm,
facade. It's all not real. You know, you go out drinking, they're playing music you
mhm,
don't even like.
Yeah.
No one's talking
mhm,
to each other. You,
yeah,
you, you know, if you start up a conversation with somebody, the conversation's very one lopsided, usually towards the woman, where it's talking about me, me, me. They never
yeah,
inquire about you,
We don't
which
care.
further, which yeah. I mean,
yeah,
today's my birthday, and none of my
yeah.
friends wish me a happy birthday. Didn't even wish me a
I
happy
was just
birthday.
gonna
Now,
ask
how am
you
I
about that.
supposed to?
I was just gonna ask
You
you
know,
about that.
wishing me a happy birthday is saying happy birthday to me is one level. It's like, oh yeah, happy birthday. Okay,
Should we
that's
sing to
kind
you?
of right. Well, again, you know, you didn't. There was no surprise birthday party for me, right?
No.
You didn't put any effort into, reciprocating my feelings. So here's my friends who
Fuck that.
I care
I'm
about,
drinking. I'm drinking beer, and I'm gonna drink kokanee for you, man. Happy
thank
birthday,
you.
there,
But
Shepard.
again, no. But I'm using this, I'm using this as an example. Here's a
Yeah.
group of people that I care about that mean a lot to me, and they don't reciprocate anything towards me. So saying happy birthday is like one level. Okay,
Hmm.
buying me a gift is another level.
Hmm.
Wrapping that gift is another level, and
Mm.
actually orchestrating a surprise birthday for me would be a very great thing or great honor or whatever what have you, that you put time effort aside for me. This is Nick's day, let's do something for Nick.
Mm.
No one's
Oh
ever
yeah,
did that.
like
No
how
one,
big woman that.
and this is now drifting further away, where now let's say Christmas, you know what, we not fuck Christmas,
Yeah.
we don't have to
Yeah.
celebrate Christmas anymore. You know what? You can just sit home and have your microwave dinner and be alone. And don't, just forget the Christmas tree, forget everything, because you don't have a
Yeah.
family, you have no friends. Oh yeah, Merry Christmas. Yeah. Well, do you want to get together? Let's have dinner together. We can cook something together. You bring something, I bring something. Nah, you know what? You're not that important to me.
Yeah, I was mentioning to Ayam the other day when I bought some alcohol, and he was like, "It's Nick's birthday tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh yes, now I have a reason to drink." Remember
Yes,
that
absolutely.
video,
I remember that.
that I posted with the fat girl crushing the watermelon? She's gonna she's gonna be
Oh yeah,
knocking on your door, okay, in like a few minutes.
Repost
But
this.
there's no
Repost
there's
this
no
within 10 minutes, and you'll
watermelon.
get a watermelon
There's
bitch.
no watermelon involved.
So
Yeah,
so
she's gonna sit on your feet. Jokes.
so you understand what where I'm trying to go with. You know, now in Cambodia, a student's birthday, the whole class would celebrate it. They would
Mm.
all bring something to the class to celebrate so and so's birthday. And I don't see the same thing anymore in America, where
No.
again it's my 30th birthday. My best friend doesn't even I know his birthday. I know his date of a birthday. He completely totally forgot, didn't say anything to me.
Yeah.
And and it just, keeps going on and on
For my
like that, where
birthday,
again,
for
you
my
don't put
birthday,
any time.
if we're still in contact, it's not a bring your own beer type of birthday. It's bring your own turban. Celebrate 9/11.
Bring your own turban. Nice. I could get down with that.
So
Like just
so what is happening
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
so what is essentially happening is empathy is considered it's a chore. It's
Absolutely. Yeah.
having empathy for somebody is now a chore, and that's why we don't acknowledge it. Like now you have to put someone else into consideration, and you don't want to do that anymore because it's a chore, and no one wants to do it as a chore anymore.
What I was saying earlier about like the infidelity of women back in 1990, that's when Desert Storm happened, right?
Mhm.
And who was in charge? George Bush, right? He went and I don't know whether he bombed Iraq or it was an offensive attack. But in the movie Jarhead, there's one scene where they all had all the Marines had liberty to watch a movie, and the one guy said, "Hey, my wife sent me Deer Hunter," so he puts in the VHS. Next thing you know, uh, his wife is getting fucked by the neighbor there.
On the
Pushing all the
VHS?
movies. Yeah, and the camera there, and next thing you know, he flips out. He loses his mind. He's like, "I want to go home. I want to go home." You know, and that's like fucked up. You know.
Well, if
And like now,
you're talking about infidelity, right? I mean, that's your main subject was infidelity.
and this infidelity leads into the MGTOW lifestyle, right? Because
Okay.
I think
Definitely.
I think we all experience this in time. You know, like Nick, you're still a young kid, but once you get into a relationship, well, I hope you don't, you know, and experience this. Like this is fucked up. And now on the internet, they have that ashleymadison.com.
Yes, I think we touched on that a couple weeks back. Me and Nick. It's basically a website for women to find. And let's not fucking be mistaken here. It's a website for women to cheat on their significant other.
What I got here is 40 women participated in extramarital relationships.
Mm-hmm. And it's justified. See, the problem is infidelity by itself. Very few people would be. No, I don't think anyone would be in support of that. Very few people are going to fucking put on the pom poms and cheer, yay, yay, fuck up your marriage and relationship.
Like the porn sites, it's rampant, right?
Mm. But the point is that it's not just infidelity.
Yeah.
It's the acceptance of it. It is basically, again, coming back to media, as I was talking with Nick earlier, Nick and Jonathan earlier, going back to media, the the megaphone of the very unsilent minority of the media is shouting, "You go, girl, go fuck
Yeah.
anyone you want. It doesn't matter. Yay, feminism." That's what it's shouting.
It's like a gold digger mindset, right? Like, hey, this guy's a lawyer. He makes millions. I'm gonna fuck him. You know, that's it just it makes me clench my fists and my jaw to think about that. You know, like why do they do that? You know, in my culture too. What my grandpa when he was still alive, right? When a woman does that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the man goes up to the woman and cuts a piece of her.
Scalps her.
No, he cuts the tip of her nose off, so everybody in the tribe knows that she's an adulterer.
Beautiful. That's fucking
Yeah,
poetry, man. Brought
and
a
she doesn't look
tear to
beautiful.
my eye.
She doesn't, she doesn't look beautiful anymore. She has this big red scab on her nose, and everybody says, "Yeah, she's an adulterer.
Yeah.
Don't fall for her tricks."
Stay away from that woman. Well, the problem
and
is,
I wish that could happen now. You know,
good luck, buddy.
but to the government, that's inhumane.
No.
And
No, well, the thing, look, you can again, like I said, adultery it's not adultery itself. It's basically the acceptance of it and how it's being shouted down the throats of women. But this,
of course,
despite the fact that it is being megaphoned down the throats of these women and saying, "You go, girl, go fuck whoever you want." It's empowering.
Mm-hmm.
Despite that fact, this is what is the most this is the most telling and the most interesting part of that is that women are listening. On a whole, women are listening to that megaphone. They're not turning around and going, "Wait a second, that's bullshit." They're not. They're listening to it and following its advice. And I think that is something that needs to be deconstructed and understood.
AM, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Is Nick? Nick, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Okay,
John, you're there?
Just a microphone enhancement here. Can you guys hear me loud and clear?
Actually, you're not very loud. If you could get closer to your microphone, that would be great.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't know where my microphone is. Okay.
You don't know where your microphone is?
No, I'm just testing a new thing here with the microphone.
Yeah.
So if you guys can hear me like, loud and clear.
I can hear you. I want to hear Nick's opinions on that, on infidelity and the MGTOW.
The best comments on that. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, I wanted to respond to the Fire Trolls comment that 30 people on the internet, that it is a community. When you can immediately be with 30 people on the internet. Yeah, being with people on the internet is not nearly the same as being in person with people. I mean, I have a bad habit when speaking to you guys where I say right over and over and over again because I can't see you. I don't know if you're actually listening. There's no eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's hard to know what it is exactly you guys are doing. I mean, for all I know is AM could be fapping it to YouTube, you porn right now, and you could be, drinking mouthwash while I'm rambling on and on about something, right? So being on the internet, you're being a troll, you're being a hermit, it's a bit of an antisocial thing versus getting together, having beers and drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you work as a unit when you're with people versus on the internet. And being on the internet, it's a very schizoid meaning a bit of a introvert, extreme version of introvert, and it's not good. It's not good. You have to work as a unit and as a group in person, not be separated, thousands of miles away. Granted, it is nice that we're all getting together chatting like this, but it's not proactive. You're not doing anything with it. All you're doing is is standing on a milk crate, crying about women's infidelity. It doesn't work.
Mhm.
But the flip side to that is most of us wouldn't know each other or wouldn't have the chance to talk unless this technology existed.
But yeah, I think we would probably, like back in the day, send each other mail, and then
Yeah, we'd be pen pals. We'd be pen pals.
Pen pals. Yeah,
Hello,
pen
Well,
pals.
dear Nick. How was your weekend? I had a great one. I went out to the store with my grandma and we bought some jam.
Yeah, that came from the ground.
And then we played chess. When I first started using the internet, I played this game
Nick,
called.
get closer to your mic.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Nick, you're
Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh,
perfect.
Better?
Who's got the video on?
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Mute.
Okay, we're good now.
Oh no, it's
Okay, so when I first started using the internet,
Oh, you're echoing, man. Somebody's got
who
the
is
video
it?
on.
It's definitely Cabin Boy.
Oh,
Cabin boy.
it might be me. I turned on my Bluetooth speaker. That might be causing a problem. Just a second.
Yeah. Okay, because I got two things open here. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, we're getting
Everyone's good.
somebody's got the chat open in another window.
Is it okay now?
No.
Because I turned my Bluetooth speaker off.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, when talking about pen pals, when I first started using the internet in the early 2000s, I played this game called Return to Castle Wolfenstein. If you guys ever heard of that game?
Oh yeah, I know Wolfenstein.
Okay, so and it was very nice because I would be able to talk to people in Canada, in Mexico, and other parts of the United States, and we also would have AOL Instant Messenger. So as we're playing the game, we wouldn't have microphones, but we'd be typing on the keyboards back and forth with each other. And we actually did get pen pals and used to write letters back and forth to a lot of my friends. And again, this was in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously now, fast forward, 15 years later, now we have, Google Hangouts.
Yeah. Well, something interesting on that point, Nick, quickly, is I remember being in middle school. I still remember being in middle school. I remember classes taught to say, get a pen pal. Learn to write and learn to communicate. Get a pen pal. Like they were teaching us to reach out to other people from other parts of the world and showing us how to mail a letter and write a letter and send it to your pen pal. I mean, it was something that was part of our education, man.
Well, there's nothing wrong with bridging different cultures and stuff, but it's when the other culture is going on to the other side of the bridge and then voting Democrat is kind of the problem.
Well,
right.
I took their advice. In middle school, and I said, "Fuck the letter. I'll just go there." I went.
Right. Yeah.
And then eventually, I thought, maybe I should have just wrote a letter.
Well, most of my friends that were once diehard liberals and multicultural that moved to Cambodia all became far-right xenophobic nightmares towards the end of their time living there.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm talking to. I find it interesting. I find it very, very fascinating that a lot of the people that I end up just communicating with or meeting by chance happen to be people who are or have experienced expatriatism. I think it's very interesting and fascinating.
Speaking of expatriatism, did you check a look at that link I sent you about MGTOW expat?
Yes.
That is that the expats in Cambodia caught on to him.
Yes, I did.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. I don't want to. We won't get into it now, but I did see it. Thank you.
Okay.
However,
funny.
This is something. I mean, I want to express this to anybody listening as well. Is that there is a benefit and a very real beneficial experience to thrusting yourself into different cultures. There is a benefit, and I mean, if you can get out of it alive, you're better for it. If you can get out of it alive, but I would. It's not something that I would fucking try to sell to anybody, you know, on a silver platter. I definitely wouldn't. If you know what I'm talking about, Nick.
It's not your country. That's it. You
Yeah,
don't belong there.
It sounds simple.
Just
It
as
sounds simple.
Chinese people don't belong in America, it's the same thing. And America's going down the path of Brazil. America's gonna look like Brazil, where it's class warfare, infighting, and people segregated upon class and multiculturalism. Brazil is a multicultural society. You don't have to go that far to see what a multicultural society in the Western Hemisphere looks like. Go to Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah. I you know, and it's funny because the liberals that are pushing multiculturalism and the idea of taking these immigrants in.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Because I was configuring. I was like, oh my God, you guys said that like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're good.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that a lot of these liberals that are really pushing for this sort of multiculturalism, diversity, other cultures coming into ours because we're so accepting and we're so virtuous. We're so virtuous. Let's signal our virtue. I guarantee you that very few of them have actually tried to live in another country or learn another language in another
most of them live in very white. I mean, most of the far left comes from like the state of Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts happens to be the most racist state in America. Many people think Texas.
Is that because of the KKK?
No. Massachusetts is a very white. What's left of the British ancestry is in Massachusetts. That's Yale, right? Boston, Boston College, I think it is. And they don't. You could look at their sports teams. They don't really have any black people on their sports teams, and it's because the society within Massachusetts doesn't want to see black people on their sports team, nor are there any black people really in the state of Massachusetts or in the New England states.
Yeah,
and they're all liberals.
They're all hanging in other people's family trees, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, this is the state of Massachusetts, and they push the agenda onto the rest of society. And mind you, this whole diversity agenda. I mean, one of the companies that I tried applying to is ranked #1 in diversity for corporations. Well, wait a second.
This is incredibly funny to me that is some kind of measurement of success.
Yeah, it is a measurement of success.
You have blacks, whites, and Chinese working for you. You're successful. Like, what? Are you fucking
You're successful, right? So wait a second. Who's telling this CEO and these executives that you have to be diversity? This thing does not come out of a vacuum. It has names. These people have names.
Mm-hmm.
And no one's inquiring about it, saying, wait a second, who told the CEO that you had to hire a bunch of fucking Chinese people? Who told you to do this?
Well, check this out.
It's a pyramid.
Yes, and let's Nick, let's migrate a little bit over to white women in submarines again.
Right. Who told it to be wise to let white women on a submarine?
Well, yeah, and who told the liberals it'd be wise to let a white woman hitchhike across the Middle East? And this is the point. It's like what happened when they actually put money in their when they put what's the phrase? Put your money where your mouth is. When they actually put the money where their mouth is, what happens? They get raped and killed.
Yeah,
they get fucking raped and killed trying to hitchhike across the Middle East for diversity and acceptance.
Well, I find it quite comical that woman, an Italian feminist.
Yep,
she wanted to go across Muslim countries. She barely got. I don't even think she made it to Istanbul. She got over on the other side of Greece. I think she made 40 kilometers in before she got raped and killed.
Yes.
I just have a big question here. Like with my culture, what my grandpa told me is that the native women that were caught being an adulterer, they cut their nose off. But what about the Middle East cultures?
Wait a second.
Because
Well, even in even Cabin Boy, even in South America, they fucking usually chop our hands off and shit and
Yeah,
get stoned
they
also.
stone them and shit. Yeah, man.
they like
Yeah, in
throw big
in
rocks
Brazil,
at
you get
them.
stoned, man. They
Well,
get
yeah.
killed. They get killed.
Oh, yeah.
That's inhumane. I mean,
Adultery
yeah.
is a big crime.
No, it's not.
A big crime.
what? No
Yeah.
way. Like
You snuff the problem out. You
Yeah.
snuff it out before it becomes a cancer.
yeah.
Yes.
And
What would you
This
rather
is why
have?
in Saudi, in Arab countries, they throw homosexuals off rooftops.
roofs,
No,
yeah.
you are not gonna.
What?
You are not gonna be waving no LGBT flag. Don't
Yeah.
even.
Yes.
Don't even think about
And
that.
they never have the problem. It's done. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds horrible to our ears and to our
Right.
to our cultural ears, but these people nip the problem in the bud, and they're like, "Oh, you're an adulterous woman.
Yeah.
Done.
Fucking we're
You're
gonna
done.
bury you halfway into the earth and throw stones at you. Fuck you.
In
Done."
North America, it seems like it's promoted. Like, hey,
Right. It's promoted.
you're in a
Yes.
bad relationship, go to ashleymadison.com. You're gonna find the man of your dreams. Go fuck him.
But
But don't
it's
tell
all
your
a
husband.
Cabin Boy. You need to understand though. Don't be taking that bait. Don't be listening to that because it's all an
No,
illusion.
fuck that.
Don't.
No, yeah.
It's being put. Yeah,
That's why
listen,
I
listen.
don't.
It's
That's
being
why I'm not
pushed. Listen,
on
it's
Facebook.
being pushed onto women. Women are
And
being
they're
told to
listening.
do these
And
things.
women are
And
listening.
so I think
Yeah,
some.
and
I think some are, but
who's
not nearly as many as
controlling
you
that
think.
shit? Who's controlling that shit? The
Somebody's
fucking
making
government.
money. Somebody's making
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, that's a crooked way, and the way they advertise it, like it's all good. It's like, oh, it's okay. Your husband's not gonna find
Yeah, he won't know.
about your adulterous acts, you know, and when they find about it, when they
Well,
find out and say, hey, you are on this Ashley.com. And you're looking for another man. Why are you doing that? I have everything for you.
Why are they
And
doing
it's
it?
yeah, because on the other side, the man's a workaholic.
No. The
Oh, I
reason
have
they're
to.
doing it is because they're encouraged to do it. And this is my opinion. The reason they're doing it, the reason a lot of women are doing it, because they're making money. That site's making money and it exists, and they got tens of thousands of women on there looking for other men. Now, the reason it exists and the reason it's making money is because, number one, women listen. They listen to the megaphone. And the reason they listen to the megaphone is because it's in their nature.
They're like
It's
cats.
in their nature.
They're like
Women
cats.
are not mavericks. They're not independent thinkers. Women are group thinkers, and a part of that comes down to cultural evolution. Okay? Women survive in numbers. They survive through groupthink. They are the beginning and end of reproduction for any society because they give birth. They have to hold the child in their bellies for 9 months. They are completely vulnerable. They must be protected. They cannot provide any other quality to any tribal or community life except to be safe and to birth the next generation. Okay,
Right.
This is biology.
Yeah.
So
and the
they
thing
are.
is,
Wait a second. They are group thinkers. They think they're not individualists. Women are not individualists. This is why women vote Democratic. This is why women vote liberal. Because they do
right.
not.
It's a group. It's a herd. It's a herd mentality.
Herd mentality. But that's the survival.
thing.
Yes, and it's a survival of them as a female gender of our sexually dimorphic mammalian species. Again, it is biology.
What I was asking my cousin, I was just like, are native women cheaters? And he said, fuck yeah. And I was like,
Are you
okay,
kidding me?
well, it's yeah. He's
The native women they're all whores.
They are nowadays, but back in the day, they weren't like that.
No,
And if
all
they
like
were, they have a scab on their nose. And everybody in the tribe says, Yes, she's an adulterer.
Scab them again, man.
Right,
There's
you
your
scar,
platform.
you mark them, you leave a mark on their face. Same thing like a thief. A thief would get his thumb chopped off in many
Yes.
countries. This way, everybody
Yes.
knows this guy's a thief, and
Yeah.
thieves
Yes.
once a thief, always a thief. Once a
Yes.
kleptomaniac, always a kleptomaniac.
Yes.
Once you first did
And then,
your first murder, you tend to your ability to murder again is much
It's
easier.
much easier.
And then
Absolutely, Nick.
one country that I don't know about, but I saw in a video, is that this guy would sexually abuse children. You know what happened to him? He got his dick cut off
Yeah, absolutely.
in
Well,
front of the
absolutely.
whole village.
Yeah, and what are they going to do to the woman? Sew her vagina shut?
You know, I think she's going to do the same fucking thing. You know, cheat on her husband. But
Absolutely.
you guys, what I was, the big question is, does the infidelity of women push men into the MGTOW lifestyle?
It's a part
You
of it.
guys, no, I think it's just a big part of it because that's how I live now. Because I've been single over a year because of a cheating woman,
Mm.
you know. And if she comes around here knocking on my window again, I'm gonna tell her to fuck off because of that. I'd rather stay single than
No,
have
what
sex.
cabin boy? What you do is you fuck her and then ignore her right after, right?
That's
That's what
not
you're
She's
MGTOW
supposed to
fuck.
do.
advice.
She
That's not
fucking
MGTOW
stinks.
advice. That's Nick's advice.
She's
But go.
fucking. She
I'm
fucking
not. Do
stinks.
you want again? Do you want to get laid, cabin boy?
No, not by
Maybe you
her.
don't.
I wanted
Okay, then
no.
whatever. All right, fine. See,
I don't.
I would fuck her,
don't
then ignore her right after, right, and then see how do you like it.
Well, what? Okay, that's great advice. And Nick, I'm not saying your advice is poor or bad, but I am saying that it has flaws. And one of the flaws is this: is that if you fuck her, she can easily turn around and say you raped her, and then your life
Yeah,
is
and she's
Yeah,
fucking
well, let's
over.
not get cat. Yeah, I don't know if that type of level of PC
It
brainwashing
is.
is on that level.
Hey,
fireproof
man,
said
sex is a woman's
fireproof
weapon.
patrol. Fireproof patrol said STDs matter. Yeah, that's what I don't want to
Well,
get from it.
it's funny you
Exactly.
mentioned this though. So my best friend, blew through a red a stop sign recently. My friend's really coy with the police. He knows how to play the cops game. He blew through a
Mhm.
stop sign. Right, the cop goes, "You went through a stop sign." You know what my friend's response was?
What?
"No, I didn't. No, I didn't." And the cop goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I didn't blow. What are you talking about? What do you mean?" And the cop knew. He
Yeah.
goes, I have no evidence against him.
There's no evidence. Yeah,
Wait,
there's
it's
no
my
evidence.
word against his word.
Exactly. But that's the point. Is like if you play the sex game with women, you will lose. I mean, and it's unfortunate. I hate the fact that it is this way. But if you play that game, you will lose because your word against a woman's is nothing. There is again. I'm going to go a little religious on you again, and bring up something that comes up in the Quran. The Quran.
Yallah.
And there's a quote in the Quran. Ya Allah, Allahu Akbar. There's a quote in the Quran that says, a man's as a witness, a man as a witness
I'm that guy.
is worth two women. Okay? One man as a witness is worth two women.
Agreed.
Okay? Now, this is Quranic. This is Quranic. This is Islamic. This is part of their culture.
Yeah.
But here in our society, a woman's word as a witness is worth 1,000 men. And in fact, actually, there is no number of men that can
Okay,
equal a woman as a witness.
in that matter, if a woman says like, "You're the love of my life, I'm going to be with you forever," is that a lie or are they telling the truth?
Well, it depends on the woman, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not here to deconstruct the individual women,
Mhm.
but the idea is, and again, these are broader ideas of the differences between men and women, which you can see in biology, and you can see it through history. And you can find hints of it in religion and other things and cultures.
Yeah.
But we're talking about an age-old cultural religious belief that
Right.
says that a woman's witness is worth one woman is worth a man is worth two women.
Because back then they were much more rational. They were much more philosophical. They were much more, in a lot of ways, they were much more intelligent than we were today.
Less
right? They understood.
Less affluent.
Right. They understood. Yo, women are fucking nuts. This bitch needs to be covered in a burqa and she needs a man to walk around with her, because if a man's not walking around with her, she's gonna start yapping with other women, and then she's gonna get hit on by some young guy, and it goes on and on and on and on. And again, first story of the Bible. It goes back to the first story, which is Adam and Eve. Don't eat the apple.
Yeah.
Anything but the apple. You ate the fucking apple. God damn it, you dumb stupid bitch.
And it's incredible when you make the comparison to today.
Yeah.
Look, a woman, not a woman. I'm not going to call her a woman. A child that has a vagina and tits, who is trying to get a post-secondary degree in education, can go out, get drunk as fuck some guy, and then the next day go, wow, I really don't like that guy. I wish I hadn't have fucked him. And then make a public statement saying that he raped her, and it will be mainstream news. The megaphone comes out, and it will shout, this man is bad.
It's to scare men into having sex. It's to scare men to not having sex. It's to scare the sexes, so on and so forth.
Which is why Islam said a man's, as a witness, is worth 2 women.
And it's been like that up until recently. Again, we're being culturally brainwashed. We have very evil people running the world right now, and it goes right back to the U.S. Embassy being put into Jerusalem. Who said and whose idea was this to put this fucking thing in Jerusalem? No one's okay with this across the board.
Well, check this out, Sean.
We have a saying. Sorry.
Go ahead.
We have a saying here. The saying is
what is it?
It's not rape if you hump back, right? And this is
it's not rape if you what? If you hump
back, yes. And this applies to residential school victims, and it's nowadays, like, hey, you fucking want to meet some guy off Facebook, and then he fucking takes you into his room, fucks you, you hump back. Yeah, that's not rape.
No, it is not.
How can you
definitely not rape? No, rape. Oh. But this is the thing. Rape today, and this is what happens when we leave the concept of patriarchy and we go into gynocentrism. A woman can simply say, "I was raped," and it exists. Nobody cares about evidence. Nobody cares about witness. Nothing. It's done. See, in the old days, like when I'm talking about Islam, if a woman goes, "Oh, he raped me," 2 men could go, "No, you bitch. You were there sucking cocks and you weren't raped." And everybody, okay. Finished. Cut the tip of her nose off.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, she's an adulterer.
Yeah. Now I want to ask Sean Lenkus asked a serious question. According to him, did women ever have accountability? And honestly,
no.
No.
Ever.
No.
They have never. Women have always been equated with children. They've always been equated with children.
Yeah.
Religiously, historically, from the beginning of time, women and children were first, and there's a reason for that. It's because women have no accountability. They are like children. Women are like children, and I can go further and say that in my experience as a teacher, I've watched children grow up in a system of education and compared boys with girls, and I've watched little girls. I've watched 14-year-old girls have emotional breakdowns in class, and I've said to myself, this 14-year-old girl is behaving exactly like my wife, my 30-year-old wife. There is no difference. There's no difference.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
I had a backyard party a while ago, and it was a group of my brother's girlfriends.
Well, why in the
Whatever
fuck
that-
was I not invited?
It was like 10 years ago. So there was my brother has like really hot group of women as friends, and we threw a backyard party, like a barbecue. It was a mixed crowd. It was just a group of friends, and there was attractive women back there.
Mhm.
And the one girl that all the guys fawn over, she horts a loogie like that onto my deck, my wood deck.
Mhm.
And I saw her do it, and no one said anything to her. And I look at her, I go, "That's what you do on my deck." And she looks dead at me in the eye. She goes, "Yeah,
What are you
yeah, I
gonna do
did
about
just
it?
do that.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
Yeah.
do about it?"
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just released.
Now, God forbid I were to, but the problem is, let's just say hypothetically, I were to confront her and take it up a notch. All
Mhm.
the guys would have obviously
They'd-
sided
they'd
with her
defend
because
her.
they're all
They
trying
would
to fuck
defend
her.
Absolutely, they would
What?
defend her.
Exactly.
Of course they would.
Yeah,
No.
she's got good spitting skills with that U.S. or that New York accent. How did she say that, Nick?
Yeah, but hey, cabin boy, you got to realize that his accent is normal where he lives. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
she
in
has the
my
same accent as me.
And I am. You'll hear my accent all day long.
So again, she a very privileged background, drives a Range Rover, right? Daddy has a lot of money. It's the same thing. The amount of wealth that these white women have, they're all driving high-end cars, courtesy of their fathers. 90% of them are from their fathers. Make no mistake
Absolutely.
about it.
It's all from daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy or
And now
mommy.
the problem is Daddy bought you the Audi, the white Audi with the black leather, 2014, whatever, 2017 model Audi, and now she wants a guy to provide the same thing he provided. Well, guess what? The baby boomers' wealth is not the same as the males, of our generation can provide the same things.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course.
And this is why they're stuck at home. And
Yeah.
this whole concept of cock carousel and women are fucking alpha males and all this other type of bullshit, absolute fucking bullshit. I'm here to tell everyone right now, women are not fucking at all. They're not having sex. They're at home watching Netflix, getting fat, and eating ice cream. They're not out having sex.
Gross.
They'll have sex
No,
once every 6 months.
If modern women today were having sex every day,
Yeah.
then there would be a rape case.
Children all over the
every day.
place.
No, there would be a
And
rape
there'll be
case.
children
in the
all
news
over the
every day.
place.
It's porn. It's pretty much porn.
No, women are not watching porn. Women have the ability to turn their sex drives off very easily. They don't have the sex drive as men. Men keep forgetting this. Women don't think like men. They could
Yes,
turn
they
off their
don't.
sex drive very easily and never
However-
turn it on again.
Okay. However, Nick, there might be a mistake in your idea here. Let me throw it at you.
Mhm.
You're saying women don't have the same sex drive as men. I absolutely agree with you. But that doesn't mean that they have a drive that is even greater than men's.
Mhm.
The popular myth is that women have a less of a sex drive than men. There's no evidence for that. There's none.
Well,
Where are the
you
children?
never know. You never know because
Where are the
like,
children?
around here, it's
The
different.
children.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't
Where
even
are
count the
children?
numbers.
Do you know America is now we're at the lowest abortion rate in America now since it's ever been.
Gross.
So in birth and contraception is way
lowest?
down.
So the lowest rate is
When it
what's,
first
okay,
was
wait,
initiated,
What's the lowest abortion rate?
it was when it was first initiated.
Mhm.
So what is the lowest rate? So now it's not
I'll look it up.
50,000, it's 48,000. Like the number of abortion is
Hang on.
huge. It's fucking huge, man. Like to say, and
I just-
not only that, but let me finish.
Go ahead.
Women now have absolute, unadulterated access to birth control, to 12 to 15 different types of birth control.
That's
Men
what
have
they
access
say.
to 2.
That's what they say.
No.
That's what they say.
Here you go.
No.
You never believe that. They
No,
could
dude.
they could have that birth control in their
I said they have
in their
access
purse.
to it. Listen, cabin boy, they have access
Go ahead.
to it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're using it. I'm saying they have access to it, which
And
means
they
that
could find-
a woman can get a condom, a woman
Yeah.
can get a pill, a
Yeah.
woman can get a IUD. Go through a list of 12 different forms of birth control a woman has access to in the Western world for free most of the time, almost
they're
free.
gonna be using
That's
the old.
why there's no children, Nick. There's no children because women are allowed to be whores and given no repercussions to their whoredom. Oh, you want to be a whore? Go ahead, because guess what?
They're not. I'm telling you, they're not having sex. I'm telling you for a fact, they're not
You think
fucking
they're
at
not having
all.
sex? Yeah, no,
All right, guys.
they are.
I'm
All right,
telling you,
guys.
they're not.
They
At this
are.
point, with my discussion, I have to ask, what's your experience with the infidelity of a woman?
Oh
Who
God.
are you asking? Who do you want to answer that first? Let's get John. John, answer that
but
first.
no,
John,
Nick-
what's your experience with the infidelity of women?
I don't know. I haven't really been in a solid relationship for a while, so I mean, I've just been here in Cambodia.
He can't gauge it.
I haven't, like a lot of guys. I mean, unlike a lot of guys, I haven't got a local girlfriend. I mean, I just, do the, I'm one of the guys that prefers to rent rather than buy. Put it that way.
Right.
So-
Okay, I get it. But
Jonathan,
but
are
in your
you're
life,
the
any experience? In
Sorry?
your life, any experience? In your
Well-
life, any experience?
Okay, I had a girlfriend when I was in university. Towards the end of university, I had a girlfriend, and that didn't last very long. She quickly found a guy who was pretty tall and pretty good looking. Now, was she banging the guy before she actually formally broke up with me? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't point of hiring.
You got to go by smell and mental.
Oh God. Smell the way she looks at you in her eyes.
I'm sure
You know,
Nick went through it too.
Okay, keep going, John. What and then?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
go
about
ahead.
all there is to that. I mean, I don't really have a long history of relationships, simply because, it's like the old saying, a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. And, I grew up during the sexual
I'm
revolution.
going to write that down.
Maybe a
I'm gonna
little
write
bit
that
after,
down.
maybe a little bit after the sexual revolution, when women were in the process of getting divorced. I mentioned the guy's name, I think last time I was on here, Marvin Mitchelson. This guy became famous. He was the one that invented alimony, or I don't know if he invented it or if he really popularized it, but he did a lot to encourage women to ditch their husbands.
So
When
it was
I-
a guy? It was a guy that did that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man.
And look him up on Wikipedia, Marvin Mitchelson. And I was growing up in the.
I bet he was a Jew. Anyway.
prob-
Anyway.
I
Keep going.
never really formed any really solid relationships with women. I know that's real raw meat for any of these fucking feminazis out there. They'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, figures, all this stuff. But it's like I was saying before. I went MGTOW in 1984.
Yes.
That was
Oh
when
my God! I was 4 years old there. Go ahead.
But prevention, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Absolutely, man. An ounce of prevention is worth what?
A pound of cure.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, go ahead.
so I don't really have much experience to relate, because I've listened to other guys' experience on this so much, experience with cheating women. I just decided that I don't want to give women the chance. I don't want to give them the chance to do that to.
So what's your
Beautiful.
experience with the infidelity with women?
Infidelic women.
Yes.
God, I'd have to go back to my early days as being like a postgraduate kid trying to explore the world.
You have a child, that you
Well,
live
now-
with. That's very rare around here where we're from, right? You got your child in your custody, right?
Mhm, yeah.
And around here, it's always the women
Yes.
that
yes.
have
I'm a
the,
pariah. I am a
Yeah.
pariah to the
And
liberal
and same
state.
same thing with me because I pay child support every month, right, for one child, but I'm overspending in that.
Hmm.
But to think about it, the assets of my child, if it's met, you know, I'm happy.
Well, look at
But
it this
it's
way, cabin boy. Look at it this way. You put your dick in a chick,
yeah,
and you come inside her, and she had
yeah.
gave birth, and now you're fucked. She's not. You
What
are.
about when she lies to you? I can't get pregnant. Okay, that's another issue. You know, like, ugh.
You're a
People
fucking idiot
lie.
for falling for
People
that.
lie. Women lie more. People lie. Women lie more. Women lie more because they get away with
Yeah,
lying. And this is the
that
problem.
fucking pisses me off.
When you
Uh,
talk about, okay, if you talk about crime, what allows crime to happen? Well, what allows crime to happen is no consequence to the act.
right.
Right.
If there's no consequence to the act, the crime is going to continue to happen again and again
Oh,
and again.
that's the U.S. government in a nutshell. You know,
Mhm.
it's funny how they call their crimes scandals. Ooh,
Yes.
it's like a fancy term for crime. Oh, it's a scandal, so
Well,
it's not as bad as committing a crime.
exactly.
And
And
that's
Nick,
that's for the media,
yes,
to label.
yes. But
You know,
Nick, check this out. When a woman rapes a young boy, it's not called rape. It's called
No,
an affair.
no.
It's called a
Affair,
fucking
yeah,
affair.
it's a fucking affair. You love it, right?
Look, this 30-year-old teacher just had sex with a 12-year-old boy,
And
and their
it's taboo,
affair.
and the guy's response is, "Oh, I wish I was that kid." Well,
Yes,
wait
I
a
wish I
second.
was that kid.
It's okay for the first story to come out like that. We joke around about it, but now you're having hundreds of these cases happening where
Yes.
it's not so funny anymore.
Yeah. And but that's the point is if you downsize the actual crime and you try to hide it and intentionally reword it into something that it's not. If you
And these
say
women are
that,
laughing. If you look at their mugshots, the smirk on her little fucking prissy little fucking face,
yeah,
and she knows she's gonna get away with it.
yes, they laugh about it. But that's the thing with women. Again, we take the crimes that we offend to men. And again, Cabin Boy, I'm still on the same topic, but I'm just kind of pushing it into this area. We take the same crimes that are given to men, like rape. If a 43-year-old man and a teacher, no matter, has sex with a 15-year-old girl, are you kidding me? That the guy might as well be dead. He might as well be dead because somebody's going to kill him. He's going to be in jail for life. He's going to get raped in his ass for life. The guy's life is over. And it doesn't matter if the evidence proves he did it or not. It just has to be said. But if a woman, a female teacher, a 43, fucking pulls on the dingle of a little 12-year-old boy, it's called a fucking affair.
abuse, yeah, it's called abuse. And
Are you kidding me?
can I say something about that? When I was in grade 7, or no, actually grade 8, my teacher, Miss Rasmussen. Okay, for instance, I went to a Mormon school. Okay, these Mormons, they're very, they work different. So I got held in her class because I swore. I said, "This is fucking boring."
Who did you swear to? Which god did you swear to? Your pagan gods? Were you swearing to your pagan gods?
No, I swore in the white man's way. I said, "Fuck, I hate this fuck." So, anyways, Miss Rasmussen, she told me that I have to stay for what do you call it? What do you call it when
After school detention? Detention.
Yeah, attention. So I had to phone my mom. She was so mad. And you know what Miss Rasmussen did to me? She was rubbing my shoulders.
Oh, a little
And I
cabin
enjoyed it.
boy. Do you like that massage?
I was, yes, of course, yeah.
Would you like me to go a little bit lower, cabin boy?
Oh my
Would you like me
God.
to-
Yeah, if she did, there was no cameras, there was no cell phones around that time.
Well, she would have got away with it.
No, she got away with it at that time, but 4 years ago, she got caught.
Uh.
You know what happened? Got kicked out of the Mormon school. She had to move
Hallelujah.
because she got caught with doing that to another student that wasn't
Beautiful.
so comfortable.
No jail time.
Of course, no jail time. No jail time. She never went to jail.
She escaped to the U.S. and she went to another school.
She'll be the next president of the United States. Absolutely.
And she's fucking sexy as hell. I'd fucking lick her pussy if I had the chance. But
well, the question is, Cabin Boy, would you let your son lick her pussy? Would you? No, you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. It's time to put it into perspective. And I'm sick and tired of people trying to make it look like little boys don't have trauma as long as it's some old woman teacher sexually molesting them. It's absolute bullshit.
Yeah, like in your case, for instance, you have a son, right, Ayam?
Many people have sons. Men and women have sons. There's sons everywhere. Yeah. You're a son. How do you think your dad would have felt?
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
He would
have cut the tip of her nose off. That's what he would have done.
He would fucking get mad. Yeah, of course, yeah. And like I kept this under wraps, and I told my best friend, hey, Mr. Rasmussen fucking sexually abused me. And he was just like, oh, fuck yeah, how did that feel?
That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. You know, and this is, I'm going to say this again to all you guys, is MGTOW is understanding that. And part of understanding what I mean by that is men completely having no empathy for the pains and suffering of other men.
Right.
And boys, men and boys. And it pisses me off.
Yeah.
It really does. It pisses me off that...
Like, for instance, like, what if your son was sexually abused by a teacher, a female teacher? Okay.
Dude, if that happened, I would go to jail because I would fucking... I would murder.
It's over.
Bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? You're giving her what she wants, and that's her ultimate goal and attention is dying at the hands of you because of what she did.
Maybe.
Yeah, she's how do you say it again?
Again, you know, I learned that from the girl, the narcissistic girl that I work with, man. The one key thing, the greatest thing she taught me was don't care. I don't care. Yeah. The words "I don't care" came out of her mouth so many times, and she literally meant it. I do not care. I have no empathy. You will not receive my attention. You will not receive anything from me, because if I gave you attention, I'm giving you what you want, and I'm not going to give it to you.
Well, now you're deconstructing women, the psychology of women there, Nick. You're deconstructing it.
And the same thing when I had my first experience with a cheating woman, you know what she told me? When I want to get fucked, I'm coming after you. And I was like 22 at the time, you know. I was just
Jesus Christ.
You obviously have a lot of messes in your life there, Cabin Boy.
Jesus.
Well, yeah. My life.
First of all, you're dating women that are willing to cheat on you. First, you don't date if you already know that she's going to cheat on you. You don't pursue it. All the women that I pursued would never cheat on me because I already sought out ones that will not cheat on me. You understand? Okay, well, so you're already pointing your compass is pointing in the wrong fucking direction. You got to point it in another direction towards women that won't cheat on you.
That's when I was 21 years old.
Well, regardless, when I was 21, the girls I was fucking when I was 21 would never cheat on me.
Well, okay, guys.
I didn't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah, well, you're not moving in with them, are you?
Doesn't matter. I was still screwing them.
Okay, look, guys.
First of all, it's not that they knew better. Is that under their own conditioning, they would never do that.
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
the one mistake. Hey, hold on. The one mistake you guys are making is that Nick even mentioned the compass. Your compass is pointing in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But the mistake you guys are making is that the compass is your dick. That's your
Yeah.
compass.
Yeah.
Don't trust
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Right. My compass pointed
No.
towards fucking eggs that wouldn't fucking,
Yes.
you know,
Don't trust
be
that
eaten
compass.
up by another men.
All right.
You know,
It's not
I was-
magnetic. It's not pointing to
No,
Well,
magnetic
then
north.
you can balance
I
the
was-
two. I mean, if you're just gonna go with your dick, you're obviously gonna be start chasing women that are really hot that other
Mhm.
guys are gonna be wanting to fuck.
No, it doesn't even
Don't
have
be
to be
doing
hot.
that.
Come on, it doesn't even have to
I
be
was-
Come
hot.
down,
I was
come down
really good
over your high heel.
You guys, I
It
was
doesn't even
really
have to
good
be
at-
hot.
Hey, you guys, I was really good at pulling out. I failed once, and I have to fucking pay for it now.
The rest
You
of
know,
your life.
The rest,
The rest
Oh,
of your
whatever.
goddamn life.
You know
And
what?
your
As
child's
long as-
life. Let's add that. And your child's life. Because
Yeah.
that child
As long
has to
as he
live
has-
with the consequences of you.
You know,
But you know,
as
women
long as
think
he
with their
has,
hormones too.
you know, has clothing on his back, as long as he has food, you know, and as long as he has a good education, man, I don't.
It's not a replacement
That's
for an
what I
actual
want.
father, though. It's not. Hey, John, what were you saying?
No,
John, you said something.
We
I want
say, well, we often say that men think with their dicks, but that's just a way of saying that we act according to our biological needs, which
Mhm.
women do too, even though they
Yes.
don't have dicks. So you can't think up such a clever phrase as "think with their dick." They think with their clit. I don't know, but you know, we both
Oh yeah.
think with our both.
They think with their ovaries, dude.
think
They
with-
think with their ovaries.
our actions are based on
Their
biology
age.
for women as much as men, but women can get away with it. That's the thing. Women can get away with it. They
Well-
get a lot more slack. They get the pussy pass. You
Yes.
know that. But hey,
And
listen,
they
you
could
guys.
do they could do
I'm gonna
that in their own
I'm
Cabin
gonna
boy,
have
let
crime.
Hardy talk.
sorry,
so-
Cabin boy, let Jonathan finish here.
I was
Yeah,
just
go
saying
ahead.
I'm gonna have to leave because I promised to meet my buddy today at around 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna have to bow out of the discussion. But I hope to do it next week or sometime. So we'll see you guys later.
Always.
Okay.
Listen, we're gonna try to
Oh,
get Kingsley
no.
on. I'm in talks with Kingsley to join
You're
next
gonna
week,
go
so that'd
out
be
now.
great if
John,
That would be
we can get me, you, Ayam to do one with Kingsley. But Kingsley's
be
telling me that he's gotta learn more about red pill philosophy before he joins in on our conversation.
fuck
Happy
that.
birthday.
Fuck that. You can just
Happy
join in.
birthday. And I am
Thank you. Thanks, Cap.
Cabin Boy. See you guys later.
yeah, thank you, John. You're
Okay.
awesome.
Okay, see you guys later.
I'll
Bye.
I'll hit you up during the week.
Stay white, man.
I'll try. I'll do my best.
Right on. Well, in my words, in my native culture, get 'em at sin.
Kalamatsu.
Uh,
Kalamatsu.
get 'em at sin. We'll see you again. Yeah. Do we don't have words for goodbye, and get 'em at sin.
You don't
That's
have
what it
good. You
means.
don't have words for fuck, or no, not fuck. Love. You have no words
what's
for
that?
love. The Blackfoot don't have a word for love. It's their word is fuck. It's like sex.
No, it's
So
it's
what is it?
It's like move in. Come move in.
Jesus. No, I'm serious. What is it? Because I was told before, but I don't remember.
What's that?
That the Blackfoot don't have a word for love. It's like you can't say I love you in Blackfoot.
Oh,
You have to say I want to fuck you.
It's get 'em at sin. Or no, wait, not get
No,
'em at
get 'em
sin.
at
That
sin is
means
like-
see you again. Oh,
Come on, you're the
I have
Blackfoot.
to- Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I'm handsome at it. But what do we want a native girl to fucking move in?
No, I
with?
don't want to know native. No, I mean I
Wow.
talk to Indians every day, and they said I asked the question, what is love in Blackfoot? Like, how do you say love? I love you. How can you say that? And they said you can't. There is no word
No.
for it. It has to be something like I want to fuck you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Getsigako mem.
Say it again.
Getsigako mem.
Kitsikako, man. Okay, so
Yeah.
what are you saying when you say that? Like try to translate it.
It's like I love
Kitsikako,
you.
man. But it's not love because they
It's a different.
it doesn't translate to
It's
love.
different. No, if you could say that to your mom and your dad, you say get to mim. That means, Mom, I love you. You know, and then with the dad, you say basically get a man. But if you want to like you want to fall in love with the downtown girl, you better not do that.
Okay, what do you say? If you want to fall in love with a downtown girl, what do you say?
Oh, geez.
You don't know?
Fuck, that's a hard question. No, I don't have any translation for
Okay, what's the other one again with your mom and your dad? Katsikatsomen. What is it?
Get your gakko, man.
Katsikatkomen.
Yeah, and when you say that means mom. Right?
Nah. But that's mom.
Gakko, man.
Okay, so we're learning the limits of your Blackfoot because your Blackfoot is limited to how you talk to your parents.
Yeah, and like your friends, like with you, you know.
I'm Napi.
Guess. Yeah.
Napi.
There you go.
And then Nick's Blackfoot name is
Shit Eagle.
Yeah, shit eagle. Shit hawk.
No, what is his Blackfoot name? Seriously, what is the Blackfoot name? How do you say caution? Caution in Blackfoot.
Cushion. Yeah. My cushion.
It's the same thing as friend. Napi.
Same. Napi.
Yeah. Okay. Last night I was trying to come up with this exciting way to for us to talk. I was trying to work on my New York accent. Mm-hmm. Nick, are you listening?
He's there.
Give up. Give up.
Okay.
It's very hard to mimic.
What?
New Yorker.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you listen. I'll give you. You want to know how you say certain things? All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So my brother speaks New York really well. What you gotta say when you're cursing at a woman, you call it you dumb dirty cunt. You dumb dirty fucking cunt. Shut your fucking mouth. Get in the fucking car. That's how you gotta speak to them. No, they'll respect it. Shut your fucking whore mouth.
Oh, nice.
That's what you say, dude. That's how you fucking handle it. Your mother was a disgusting piece of shit for having you. You have to really say words to women are like punches, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you hit it on the head the right way, you can wreck them.
Yeah. What I came up with is like, hey, I'm walking here.
Walking here. I'm walking here.
You know when a fucking cab driver almost bumps you? I'm walking here.
Wait a second.
New Yorkers are very un-PC, very un-PC people.
Oh yeah.
Okay, wait.
Go get your fucking go ride your elephant in Bombay, you piece of shit. Get the fuck up.
Fuck out of here.
That's what's so great about the First Amendment. Like you can say shit like that.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. Whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, my next challenge is for you guys to fucking talk like me. My accent. Okay? For instance, if you're gonna say the S, you say shh. Okay? Hey you guys, let's go drink some mouthwash.
I couldn't mimic it.
Okay?
Cautions.
Go ahead, Nick. I want to hear you say it.
I want to hear what you have to say. Like, and then my cousin, he went to drink mouthwash.
You fucking nailed it.
And he drank mouthwash. And I tell him, hey, why are you drinking mouthwash?
Yeah. I got some vodka.
And then we go back to the reserve. And then I started sniffing glue. And I'm like, whoa. I like sniffing glue.
You nailed it, man. You fucking nailed it. No, I
never thought in my life.
Now you try to sound like me.
Well, I was talking about New York.
Okay. My thing. I have a thing for pizza. Okay. I enjoy
pizza. If I come to New York, I will have some pizza with you.
So this guy, hey,
Can we smoke? Can we
we
smoke
went
in my wigwam, Nick? When
we went to this.
we will
this
bake
place,
out my wigwam, and we could
went
talk
to,
about Mandy D.
We went to this place called New York. Okay, there's lots of pizza there, and oh my god, it's so good. It tastes like an Indian taco, eh?
It's an
And there's
Indian taco.
oh my god, there's a lot of tomatoes, and then there's some fruit.
What the Indians, they like the bannock because they're
The bannock, yes.
the
Let's
ladies
read
are
some
too hard
comment.
there.
It tastes so good. You want to come inside your cousin?
Yeah, he likes Sean likes the New York. Listen here, you dumb fucking bitch. Shut your fucking mouth. Get in the fucking car. I'm not gonna fucking tolerate it anymore. I'm not gonna fucking listen
No.
to you and your fucking dog shit. Shut the fuck up. That's how you handle it.
Fuck yeah, man!
That's how you do it.
But you have.
And what are you riding? You go back to riding your fucking elephant in Bombay. You fucking smelly fucking curry piece of shit. You're fucking disgusting. Get the fuck back. That's what you say.
Yeah. You say that, and
Who the fuck gave you a passport? Whoever gave you a passport was eating fucking lead chips. Because I can't fucking. This is my country, letting you fucking morons in.
Mm-hmm.
You
What do you want
shit
to
and
do?
piss in your fucking streets.
You want to ride the subway, the New York subway?
See, Nick, that's why I talk to Indians the way I do. Like that's why I talk to them like that.
But now you have to understand though. That's where Trump comes from. What I just did, Trump speak. That's Trump's language.
Right.
It's just really say that Trump is not doing what he said he was supposed to do. It's very upsetting. And that this whole North Korea bullshit's fucking pissing me off.
You know what he did like 2 weeks ago? He was honoring the Navajo code-talkers.
Oh, that was great.
You know
he was talking shit about Elizabeth Warren. That was pretty cool. He's being sarcastic. I love it.
He called one of those girls Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, and
he's talking about Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, because she admitted. She admitted that she said publicly that she was Native, but she wasn't.
Yeah. No.
And then they asked the Navajo code talkers, "Were you offended?" He goes, "No, that was actually pretty funny what he did."
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic.
They're in their own world, you know. They're old men.
But you're getting Trump is sarcastic. He's very he speaks in hyperbole a lot. He's New Yorker.
He's a joker, man.
Just a reminder. Yeah, we got Pocahontas. She's a fucking idiot. Don't listen to Elizabeth Warren and her fucking insanity. See, yeah, what's so great about Trump is how much he dismisses what women have to say.
Yes.
Like I don't give a fuck. Yeah, you just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's Trump. Whatever. Just sit back down. Just go bake your cookies, Grandma. Shut your fucking mouth.
Look at the woman he married. Look at the woman he married. He basically said, "Okay, you're a gold digger. I got the gold.
Yeah.
You're attractive. Sit on my fucking dick, and we'll make things happen. Done.
Right.
Finished."
Well, she's not happy about being first lady, mind you. She really fucking hates the title, and she hates what she's doing. I feel really bad for her. She did not ask for any of this, man.
Nick.
Well, she asked for it when she fucking sat on the dick.
No, she didn't ask to be the first lady of America. She wanted to be a billionaire where she can go shopping and hang out and be Trump's wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh shit, listen, what cabin boy?
I'm going to have a peace fight ceremony, and I'm going to mention you to the spirits up in the sky. So,
you're gonna make it rain. Go fuck. Listen, cabin boy, go outside, go yell at the sky, make it rain for me, okay, for my birthday.
You don't want rain, man. You want sunshine.
I'll make it.
You want
it's snowing right now.
You need a Sundance, man. Give him a Sundance, man.
Sundance. I could do that.
Yeah.
No,
Sundance for this man. No,
okay,
Sundance.
For
Sundance for Nick.
Fuck face.
Dude. Yeah.
Go out there. Nick, I have to admit, it feels like I've known you for years. I don't know what it is, but
yes, same, right back at you.
You're awesome. You know, happy birthday.
Thank you, man.
you're fucking like I always like I was just listening to a chat about my Bruce Lee thing there, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good chat
added
that
onto
day.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, you're fucking awesome, man. Both you guys are awesome, and Nick, I love your accent. I wish I could have that, but I always have to talk like this and have missing teeth. And
Well, that's what happens when you huff gasoline and you take too many blows to the head boxing.
yeah, no fucking kidding.
All right, go do a rain dance. Not a rain dance, a sun dance. Sorry, do a sun dance.
Sugapi.
Sukapi.
Gika.
So
Gika.
Gika.
so let's
Gika.
the whole thing with
Wait,
the
I'll be right
sexual harassment. Oh, he's going after we told him you don't have to do that 100th time over.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I lost my train of thought.
Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment.
Oh, just how they just. I want to know who's going to be replacing these people that all these sexual harassment allegations went on with. That's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds on who the replacements are.
Well, they're going to be people that haven't been accused of sexual harassment. And then
Yeah, but everyone knew it. I don't understand how this came out of a vacuum like this.
no. You know what I think, and again, this is what I think. This is basically Hollywood saying, we run the show, and the cracks in our armor are not really cracks, because even though what we're being accused of would destroy the life of any sane man, we're going to still continue to make your movies, make your news, and do everything.
But Hollywood's hemorrhaging money. A lot. Hollywood's losing money. New York Times is losing money. Even my local paper is losing money. And it's quite bizarre how there's still money being funneled to all this. Now, mind you, George Soros just gave away, I think, 3/4 of his wealth to some type of open borders fucking bullshit.
Well, you have to ask the question: is when money is being lost, someone else is gaining it. Money doesn't just disappear. Like it doesn't just disappear.
It's the people that are working for those companies is who's gaining it.
Yeah. Anytime money is being lost, somebody else is gaining it. It's like it's entropy.
Well, no, someone's subsidizing these businesses. Like I don't know if it was you or was talking about it, or it was maybe one of our chats that we deleted. That my local the Long Island the yeah the newspaper for Long Island is in debt. Completely in debt. It's insolvent, and it's been insolvent for like the past 4 or 5 years. It's a complete left-wing New World Order type of fucking paper.
So it still exists.
It still exists. They're losing money.
Yeah.
They shouldn't exist anymore. Yet,
but
it's still
again, that's what I'm saying. Is the money? The money is. It's not missing. There's no money missing. It's being. It's rearranged. The money's still there. You have to follow it. You have to follow the money. Who has it? Who has that money? I'm trying to make a personal example that I know of recently. Okay, if Disney wants to buy out Fox, okay, Disney wants to buy out Fox. It's not that the Fox doesn't have the money anymore. Whoa, what's going on?
My bad. I had to do something.
Okay. It's not that Fox doesn't have the money; is redistributed to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
These companies, these corporations, these governments, money doesn't disappear; it turns into something else. So when you see something where money is being lost, there's no more money in this.
Well, it's
that
funny.
Doesn't mean the money disappeared.
It's funny you mentioning this because I swing trade during the week, and a lot of the stocks that I usually trade are all in decline. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Why are all my stocks fucking plummeting right now? Well, guess what? All the money's being now all the money from the stock market and the industries that I usually swing trade on, it's all going to Bitcoin. And anything that's related to Bitcoin is fucking skyrocketing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Like the money doesn't disappear. It just goes somewhere else, right?
Yeah, it moves to another location, which is interesting. I would like to know what's going to happen with Bitcoin.
Well, the best thing you can do is try to find out ways to see. I guess what
Will it become the new world order currency that many people
maybe
believe that?
maybe you got to be a fortune teller, man. You have to understand the nature of money. You understand that it moves. It doesn't. It's like the nature of energy. Energy is not created or destroyed. It just changes forms. Hot
Yes.
becomes cold. Cold becomes hot, etc. Money becomes money in this section becomes money in this section later. It's synergistic. It just moves. It doesn't become nothing, and it doesn't come from nothing. So
now Sean's saying that it's a bubble, but the problem is if there is no bubble if everybody wants it.
Yeah.
So and there's only X amount of Bitcoins out there. It's not, you can't just make a Bitcoin. It's very difficult to make a Bitcoin. So when everyone's clamoring to get their hands on something that's really rare and hard to get, that's not really a bubble.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, man. It's like, again, wealth or not wealth, capital or value. Value does not exist in a vacuum. Right? Value does not exist in a vacuum. So value always exists. It is like energy. It always exists. Value always exists. It doesn't matter what the product is, there's always value. And it always exists. So you have to try. All you can do is try to be some kind of fucking X-Man to understand the nature of how value moves around in society. This is worth this today.
So what about hypergamy value and hypergamy float value?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm back from.
Amazing.
Fuck, man! I wish I had your accent. Fuck, I'd probably get.
The hypergamy value. Look, hypergamy is okay. Let's put it into the. Actually, that's a very good idea. Let's put hypergamy. Let's give hypergamy a value. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So
like Bitcoins.
Hypergamy
like Bitcoin.
In my personal experiences, like high class women want to go for the grunt. Just somebody that wants to like fucking just basically want to fuck, you know. And then they treat you like fucking shit afterwards, you know. Like, hey, I met my needs, my needs. Fuck off. It's like a cat. It's like a cat.
I think I do see a correlation between felines and females.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're called felines for a reason.
Yeah.
They know action.
You know, like, what's you guys' experience with like these women that like want to fuck and then they tell you, go away, get away from me.
Well, because I'm out
what they're doing is they're trading their Bitcoins in a market that allows them to do it for a profit. And again, I wanted to make this connection between hypergamy and Bitcoins. How does hypergamy have a value? What's it value? And again, like
you're driving it up. Because there's so many men that want it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in the old days, we used to call it pussy.
Yeah.
But that's it doesn't really encompass everything that it is, because believe it or not, a woman's pussy is a very small percentage of what she actually brings to the table.
Yeah. Whether it smells or not.
It always smells. I've
I
always fucked
fucking
with smells,
I,
man.
I always go down on the women that I fucking get attracted to. But when it smells like fish,
Well,
Mhm.
I coming back to New York and after being in Asia for a while, it's really sad how invisible you are here and how women have. I go to this coffee shop every morning, and the
Mhm.
women are chortle and insincere, and they're just
Yeah.
bubbly, but it's all superficial. There's nothing behind it. Yeah, what do you want? You want a dark roast? Okay, have a nice day. And she's just not there. She's like a robot almost. Whereas like if I'm in Asia, she's inquiring a little bit more about me. Not so much just because I'm a foreigner. It's because I'm,
'Cause you're
I'm
a
I'm
man.
fairly good looking, right? I'm a man. She wants to know a little bit more about me. Do you have a wife? Are you married? Do you have children? That used to be always a question I was asked at least once or
Mhm.
twice a day while I was in Asia.
Yeah.
When she asks those type of questions, she wants to know a little bit more information about me. She's
Well,
curious about me.
yeah, and she
Where
has an
where I'm
investment.
back in America, they could give a flying fuck.
Yeah. Well, in Asia they have an investment in you. In America they don't. There's no investment in you. All you are is the next dick that she
Right?
is supposed
Yes.
to celebrate with a flag saying, "I'm a feminist. Look at the next dick I fucked," and that's it. That is their lifestyle. That's who they are. And unfortunately, that bleeds over into reproduction, where women control 100%. Where you have women having children by men they didn't want to be the father of their children, but hey, I'm a modern feminist and I got a cunt. I'll fuck every dick I want. Now you have a kid, and that kid is raised not by a man that actually gave a shit
Raised by a group of
about
women, usually the mothers, the grandmothers, and the
mothers, grandmother, and not just the family, but the state when it comes to education, because there's very few male teachers. So you have a child raised by women constantly, all the time, away from home and in home. There's nothing left. There
well,
is.
if we're venturing down that rabbit hole, you don't have to go that far to see what the ramifications are with that, which is the African American population,
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
you can see what that's turned into.
That
Now, in the
that should
African
be
American population,
the American
right?
African American population, the United States African American population and what it's become should be the fucking canary in the coal mine for all countries in all parts of this world.
Yes. Well, the American women are, I'd say, about where African American women were in the like late 70s, early 80s, where the welfare state and this lack of male influence didn't really start to metastasize until the mid 80s, 90s, and obviously where we are today with them. So we're just seeing the early stages of that with American women. And this is part of the decadent rot within a society where they're trying to bring down, like I guess, white culture and white values
Mhm.
and Christian values.
Absolutely. And it's very sad because and you again, you have been an expatriate in a country that is considered um, third world. It's not on the same level as North America and all our beautiful creations. No, you automatically have to look at that country as something that is not on the same level as you are or your culture. And in many ways that's true, but you have to understand that these ideals from these other cultures, they don't mirror our own, but they do offer solutions to a lot of our problems.
Correct. Well, we veered away too far from what it was in tribal societies, without a doubt. Yeah, that is for sure. Well, this goes back to, I love to talk about how when you brought this up in a private conversation, is how if America was to go to war or a Western country was to go to war today with, let's say, China or
Mhm.
Russia or any country for that matter, You can't. You will not get your men to budge and go fight.
No.
You want me to fight for what? Her and her Gucci bag?
Yeah.
It's never. Her and her fucking Pomeranian dog.
Yeah.
And
I
her
said there
Audi?
will
You want me to
never
go
be
and
a
fight?
World War III. There will never be a World War III. It's done. World War III has already started. We're in the middle of it. But there will never be a equivalent to World War II and called World War III. It can't exist.
It can't
Because
happen.
men aren't going to do
You will
that.
not get your men to budge. Even if a nuke was to go off in San Francisco,
Yep.
I ain't
Yep.
going.
Yeah.
I ain't
Sorry.
going for what?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry. No.
Not happening.
No.
I have nothing worth fighting for. I don't have a house.
Yep.
I don't have any money. I
Well,
can't get I'm not getting laid.
Your
What
vote
do
doesn't
you want me
count.
to do?
Even your vote doesn't count. It doesn't matter.
That's right. Even my vote. You haven't done shit for me. You haven't
Yeah.
done one. You haven't passed one bill of legislation. You haven't done anything I fucking wanted.
Mm-hmm. And this is the
Right?
the liberalism of feminism, and the whole concept of the suffragettes and women having the right to vote. All of that goes to shit in the modern age. All of it. Everything they work for goes to shit, because in the end, 90% of men are going to go, what? Wait a second. Now I got to go to fucking. You're gonna draft me into a war with another fucking country? I've seen this game before, and I've died. I have children. I don't want them to die. Go fuck yourself. There is no World War III. It will never fucking happen.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen because it's.
Oh, you're breaking up, Cabin Boy.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Breaking up?
Well, like, and this is like this whole idea. You know what happened? I played music with these two older gentlemen. They're in like their late 50s, early 60s.
Nice.
And one of them has a daughter, and the daughter I think is like 24 or 25, and the father like really likes me a lot. And he goes, "I really want you to date my daughter. She needs a boyfriend, so on and so forth." I'm like, whatever. Yeah. I mean, we're me and him are really good friends and stuff. And the daughter said,
marriage.
the daughter said, "I'm too old." And I just start, and to be honest with you, I had no response to that whatsoever, because her response to me being too old, it's just laughable. Like, I'm not even giving any credence to what you had to say, because what you're telling me is I'm too old, so you should go fuck a 25-year-old guy who's probably not going to marry you, who's going to fuck you, use you over, and spit you out. And then when you're 30, you're going to come looking at me again, and I'm just going to be laughing in your face.
Yeah. Now you can tell that to her. Wait, hold on, boy. Nick, you can tell that to that woman. Honestly, say that to her face, and break it down for her like you're trying to teach a fucking 5-year-old math.
She won't listen. You won't listen.
But
it's like dealing with an autistic child. Okay, so there's no point in me even uttering those words and burning any type of energy to respond to her incoherent nonsense. No. This is the problem. And she'll figure it out. Men are responding to feminism. You're responding to women's words. And this goes back to what I said before. Simply ignore them. Go your own way. Just walk away from it, because she's retarded. All you have to tell yourself is she's a woman and she's a fucking moron, and that's it.
Do you think she sees the bigger picture?
And that's why the Muslims aren't on our. That's why the Muslims are not on our perspective. They understand that.
They're
like, "Are you kidding me?"
Correct.
They're like, "No."
Well, even African American men know this. They don't even bother arguing with their women. They just walk away.
Yeah.
Something Patrice O'Neill said, who's my all-time favorite comedian. He did a stand-up. It's called Elephant in the Room, and he's describing the differences between white women and black women. He goes, black women, when they start mouthing off, they get smushed. And what he means by smushed is like a guy will take his hand and just rub it in her face, like kind of just get out of my face, kind of a thing, right? And he goes, white women get their asses killed for their words, for what they say, right? And that's something that white women do. Like, you don't see African American women getting killed. You see white women getting killed though by their spouses and their husbands, because they wheedle them down. They just wheedle they destroy them, right? Yep.
Yeah. You know
And
the
black
weird,
women don't do that.
No,
the
they
weird
know
thing
better.
is that I was
They know better. Correct.
I was catching the bus to Walmart, and this
We can't
black.
hear you, cabin boy.
Oh, hold on. Can you hear me
So
now?
no, barely.
Barely.
So again, you can see with Europe though is now with the whole all these Arab men living there, in that the native population, the native males who have been called Nazis and fascists and all that, and misogynists and all these other things, the men are just like, yep, all right, have fun, see ya, or they just become gay, or they just go faggot, one or the other.
No, I don't think they don't care. Okay, I think
Cabin
they
boy, you got to fix
yeah.
your connection.
Can you, am I breaking up here?
Hey, am you there?
Hello? Yeah, gotcha. I can hear you, Nick.
Well, I don't know where AM went.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I think he cut out. Yeah, I think.
I took a shit so big it displaced all. Good luck flushing that toilet, that turd down with your no eco-friendly toilet bowl.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, it's like experience with unfaithful women. Does that bring you back to, or kind of like push you into the MGTOW life? You know,
Well, I do not consider myself that MGTOW. I'm not really that. There's a lot of problems with MGTOW. I completely disagree with this whole concept
oh
of
yeah,
you going your own way and letting your culture completely go to shit and rot. I completely disagree with,
yeah.
and run
Uh,
amok and run rampant across your society while you enjoy the sunset and go fishing and go drinking with your buddies and watching sports. I don't agree with either. But
You
at
know
the
what
same
it is.
time, I understand.
You know what it is, Nick. It's the world is on fire. It's on fire. And you have a choice. You can either try to fix it, or you can pull out your lawn chair, grab your popcorn, and watch it burn.
sit there,
Okay,
watch.
I understand that. I'm
Yeah,
with you all the way. But again, this goes back to what I told you much earlier. Is eventually the fire's going to keep coming closer and closer
Yeah,
and closer
and
to
I'm ready for it.
you, and you're eventually going to get burned from
Yeah,
it.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I got my wieners.
For it, so.
I got my fucking marshmallows. I got front row seat.
I got
And I'm
s'mores. I got a Hershey's bar.
yeah, I'm fucking ready for it, man. And when it
Yeah,
happens, I'm gonna
with you.
slow clap. I'm gonna slow clap as it burns.
Who's got
And
the echo? Cabin boy.
cabin
yeah,
boy,
yeah.
turn that off,
You guys
buddy.
hear me? You guys hear me?
No, we can't hear you.
No.
You have no sound. Go away.
Hold on. What?
No, I completely, I understand. No,
Yeah.
there's no other way around it. You have to be MGTOW. Now, whether MGTOW is socially engineered,
Mhm.
I think it is part of the social engineering process, without a doubt. But you really have no other options in the matter.
No, you
You
don't.
have no choice. You really have no choice but to become a minimalist, because the feudal system that's being forced upon you now, that you have no choice but to somewhat bend to its whims.
Yes.
You have to start doing it. Yeah, that it is deliberate, and because you're so atomized,
Yeah.
community identity, because you lack communal values, because your neighbors are also going their own way.
Mhm.
You got no other options. That's
No,
it.
you have none. And
Oh,
it's beautiful to me because I don't. Again, there is a very spiritual aspect to MGTOW, because what you're doing is you're actually saying that the world around me, the world I'm watching
mhm.
burn,
Yeah.
it's not the be all end all of my existence.
No.
I
Because
have a soul. There's
you
more
didn't
to
start,
me than this.
yeah, you didn't start the fire.
Yes. I didn't
And
start the fire. And I
We
have,
didn't start the fire
yeah, that's
you
because
fucking
the
didn't
world
start
was
the
burning
fire.
and the world was turning.
You
piano
didn't
man.
start, yeah,
Let's go there.
fuck yeah. But anyways, yeah, I hear what you're saying, I am. You know.
Hey, he was.
Cabin Boy, you gotta leave and come back, man. Your connection is
Yeah,
really
your
bad.
connection's bad, man. You're cutting out. I can't hear you.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm native.
Hey, Billy Joel was he was New York, right?
Oh,
Yeah, he's from my a couple
my
towns
God,
over.
I love Billy Joel. I listen to his music. He's fucking
He's an
awesome.
asshole, though.
No, fuck that.
He doesn't tip.
He
I
speaks to
know
me
people that waited
through
on
his
his table. He
music.
doesn't tip.
Oh, are you saying that? That's like you saying, oh, Don Burnstick is a fucking native comedian, but he doesn't. He's not in my line of humor.
When I go fishing, I launch my buddy's boat from Billy Joel Park, which is funny.
Nice,
Oh
Billy
my
Joel
God.
Park. That's
Yeah.
incredible. I love Billy Joel. All right, you
I
guys.
loved it. Yeah.
I want to say this on this note of Billy Joel, and the Bronx and Queens, and fucking Redman.
Yeah.
Thank you for the evening. Happy birthday, Nick.
Yeah.
Happy
Happy
30th.
birthday, Nick.
Always a pleasure.
30th
Oh my God.
a beautiful birthday.
Like I
Beautiful.
always told you, Nick, you're fucking funny as hell. I love your accent, and
There you go.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure listening.
Why do you think I got this guy on? Why do you think I talked to this guy, Captain Blake? He's a good man.
Oh shit! Fuck yeah!
Well, we got to get that
No.
Paul Pluta guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm trying. Oh, people listening, I'm trying to get Paul back on.
Paul Plotius.
Proteus.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get him back
Now, where
on.
is he from?
He's Canadian as well, man.
Okay.
But he's living on the West Coast now. He's in Vancouver. Beautiful man. But we have a lot of people. I mean, again, like JGG was on the last time. We had to cut that one out, unfortunately, but he'll be on again. JGG is wonderful. The gay Italian is always entertaining.
Yeah, I can really lay into him next time and really start picking his
He
brain.
must really like the feeling of being gay.
Yes.
Wait! Before we end it, though, what's gay? Can you tell me what gay is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, gay used to mean happy, but now it means like I like to have a dick in my ass, and that's
Right. There you go.
I hate that.
I don't like it either.
I hate the corruption of language.
In the native culture,
In the native culture, it's culturally appropriated to take a big fat black cock coming in a hairy man's ass,
You're exaggerating.
shooting your load down another man's asshole, dick covered in shit.
But it's the same thing like being like lesbian.
Well, you love it, Cabin Boy. You love cock in the ass.
You know, like, when it comes to lesbian sex, you know, I'm not.
See, I condone that also. Yeah, whatever. We can pick this up next week.
Yes, well, then we pick up. So, and we can talk.
Instead of a rabbit hole, we're going down an a-hole next week. Stay
Christ.
tuned, guys.
A rabbit's asshole, for God's sake.
A rabbit's asshole.
Is that hey, Cabin Boy? Is that like a popular Indian name? Like, could I be Ernie
Rabbit's
Rabbit's asshole?
Yeah. Oh man, you're gonna have more business.
My name is Frank.
Who's a Carly Ellison? Is that a troll? Who is that person?
Probably a troll.
Oh, I think she's.
It is a troll.
She's a feminist.
It's MGTOW expat, isn't it?
Maybe.
Oh, I wanted to throw this out there. I have a big crush on this woman. Right? And her
Oh God, here we go. Good night. Good night.
Fuck you, Nick. Fuck you, Nick.
And
All right.
And on that
note, and on the note of the drunk Indian talking about his bowel movements, we are going to end this beautiful chat for Nick's 30th birthday. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening.
Nick.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
You know, like Nick, it feels like I've known you. I've known you for years, but man.
Thank you, Cabin Boy. Thank you. Enjoy Mandy D, by the way. Enjoy Mandy D.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have a hand party tonight.
I know. I knew you were gonna be really happy with that porn star I sent you.
Beautiful.
You fucking said.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much. We can talk later, but we're gonna end the chat. Everybody that's listening, take care.
Good night, everybody.
You want to hear, if you want questions answered, send them. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, comments are appreciated.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah.
Absolutely, comments are appreciated.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, remember,
Thanks, man.
my chat, my chat is very diverse. I talk to fucking New York people. I talk to Indians, and I talk to people in Cambodia, and I talk to gay Italians.
Hey, no Indians.
Right?
Native. Okay.
No, Indians. I talk to Indians. All right, everybody. Thank you very
Indians.
much.
All
We'll
right,
see you
man.
later.
All right.
Yeah,
Peace.
see you
Bye,
guys.
everybody. Thank
You
you.
guys are awesome.
Take care.